Hello, everybody. If it's Wednesday, it's Warhammer, and that must mean it's time for another episode of Warhammer Weekly. Joining me, he's back on the show. Big show, as always. Hey, whoa. What's up, buddy?
Yo.
It's good to have you back, sir. We're going to be talking about something tonight. We're going to be doing not one, but two tier lists in traditional Warhammer Weekly style. We're going to talk about armies that need help, models, rules, the whole shooting match. We're going to talk about what we fix, how we'd fix it, why we'd fix it, what we'd fix it. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but you get the idea. Okay. So, hey, well, how you been recently, man? How's things been going?
Well, I've been pretty busy, you know. And, well, you know what? How specifically I've been recently. I wrote a little thing about that. Maybe we'll get.
You know
to
what?
It
Why
later.
don't we? Why? Yeah, exactly. We will hit it up later. Halo's going to share a little bit of the very frustrating day he's had. We're gonna have a little palate cleanser session, an unusual section in the middle of the show. Don't worry, we're gonna get a classic Halo rant, but it'll be about a slightly unexpected topic. All right, why don't we do some news? Why don't we kick this off? We do some news. All right. So first off, there's a rumor engine. It's this thing. It's a leg of an animal. It's an animal leg. Yep. There it is. Okay.
Wow.
What do they do with stuff
crazy.
like this? I know. It's whatever. All right. Next. Who cares? Come on. Give me something here, people.
Next.
Terrible. All right. So we got it announced. We got the Spitewood expansion set for Warhammer Underworlds. Yes, this game apparently still exists. People even play it, I imagine. I think. Somebody does, I guess. And it's got little Kurnothi people in it, which is fine. They look cool enough. But it also has some Hellsmiths of Hashut in it. So we've got some new Chaos Dwarves here, an Underworlds warband. Thankfully, I don't have to hopefully worry about this for the normal army. Like, I don't like random bands of weirdos in my Age of Sigmar army. I want units. I want things that look like units.
Yeah.
I do not like random bands of weirdos. Personal taste. Cat with a super chat saying, "Oh man, first time catching you live in ages, and it's a big episode 2." That is exactly correct, Cat. It is as big as they get tonight. Thank you for the super chat. Super chat's open, everybody. I very much appreciate all the support. All right. Hey, Will, I have a question for you. Have you literally ever played a game of Warhammer Underworlds? Have you even tried it? Have you ever tried it even once?
No, I had no interest in such a thing. I saw it come out, and the models, I mean, remember the skeleton boys from the first set? I'm like, oh, these are going to be great counts as for the game that I like, you know, instead of the weird board game thing that I'm just not into. And then they started getting rules for AOS to mixed results, and I've just mostly been ignoring it. I don't know, man. I'm not like the biggest board game guy. I like one card game, but I'm not looking for another.
Right.
And I like a big war game, and I'm not looking for another. I recently dipped my toe into Trench Crusade as far as, you know, skirmish style games.
Yep.
I've been really enjoying it.
It's a good game. It's a good game.
And so I kind of like, I got my big game, I got my small game, I got my card game. I'm not looking for other excuses to use AOS models. I would like to use them in the game.
Yeah. I've played it several times over the different things, and what I've figured out is that it's not for me. It's a very well designed game that is just not my type of game. But that's okay. Like I'm not in any way crapping on it. If you love it, cool. It makes some of the best models for AOS. This is the thing where the sculptors clearly get to go, oh, we're going to make a thing we actually care about making. You can tell. So that's nice. They got that going for them. We're going to go to that in a second. Okay. So at any rate, we'll look a little bit more at the Hellsmiths here in a moment. I grabbed another picture of them, but that's cool. What I like about this is it does give us more alternate models for characters, because the Ashen Elder in Hellsmiths is a Garbo version of the Demon Smith. Like the Demon Smith is a really cool model, and he has an alternate version that becomes the Ashen Elder, and it's ugly. It has an ugly head and an ugly weapon, and he looks dumb. Takes the best model in the range, makes it the worst model in the range. I don't know how they managed to accomplish this, but that's what happens with dual kits sometimes. And so, but now we get other characters that we can swap in, which is great. David Canty, super chatting, saying, Vince, do you prefer narrative games like Mordheim, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, where your army goes and changes, or standalone? If yes, what warbands, gangs, or teams did you like painting and playing? Wow. Big question. Simple answer. Yes. I mean, you can see it in the games I write with Snarling Badger. Like, I very much prefer narrative type games and ongoing campaigns, especially for like skirmish style stuff. Mordheim is probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's incredible. It's the same designer as Trench Crusade, Tomas, obviously. We're going to have him on Snarlcast, Uncle Adam and I's podcast here sometime soon. We're just trying to work out a schedule. Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Pulling some big names in here. All right.
He's a good dude. He's like the nicest guy in the universe. So like, it's, you know, it's pretty cool. And I've talked to him and known him for a while, since like I made a Mordheim video forever, ages ago, when my channel had like probably less than 1,000 subs, and he watched it and he was very complimentary of it and reached out to me and stuff like that. So there you go. Hades with a super chat saying, amazing models, fun gameplay, deck building, just an amazing game all around. Underworlds has it all. And I mean, that's why I'm glad it's still there. I know there's a lot of people who really love it. It's just not for me, is what I'll say. But hey, there you go. But yeah, I like campaign play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not everything has to be for me.
Right.
You know, you get somebody in front of a microphone, they start talking. Sometimes it sounds like that's what they think, but not really. It's just commentary on what you're gonna comment on. It's simply not for me. But I'm not gonna Thanos snap it.
Right, out of existence, yeah.
Out of existence or any such thing. As long as my game is fun, I don't care what else you do.
Right. I mean, mechanically, it is undoubtedly one of their best design games. So, so it's got that. All right, now let's move to some old world. Talk about some old world news, because I am this is just. Oh, there you go, Adam T. I bought Space Station Zero. Still haven't played a single minis game, but I like your games with Adam and seem cool. Want to try it and reign in hell. Awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, you can find links to all of our games we wrote down below. And yes, if you look at all of our games, they all have campaign play, right? Like they're all about continuing on and growing and evolving over time to more or less degrees. Okay. Javier, we will indeed talk about Maggot Can at some point. Don't worry. But anyways, the other thing coming out here is our Warhammer, the Old World, the War of Cetra's Fury, a second arcane journal for Tomb Kings in the Old World. Now, arcane journals, if you're not familiar with the Old World, what is this? Well, this is a book that contains like arcane journals can contain a whole bunch of things. New units that you have to sometimes have models, and oftentimes you just convert yourself. Ton of new magic items and new things you can take and spread throughout your army. New armies, what we would think of as armies of renown, basically alternate ways to construct your army, different list building restrictions and stuff like that. And this is their second arcane journal. Like all their base rules are in the big book that has like you got good guy book and bad guy book. They're all in the one. And then you've got an expansion book already. And then you got second expansion book for them. The Old World is just dunking on us right now with this stuff. And it's frustrating to me because what this is exactly what I want for AOS. This is the release model I want. Is it?
You know those soggy rules we got?
Yeah.
Where it's one PDF page? It's like that, but a whole book.
Right. Exactly.
Or
yes,
even worse, perhaps even more depressingly, it's what Age of Sigmar used to do and doesn't do anymore with malign sorcery or portents or stuff like that.
Yep. I'm going to do a show at some point. It's going to be coming up. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm going to do a show at some point. And it's going to be called Is AOS Dying? Okay, now that's going to be the hyperbole title. But I do want to talk about the general trend lines in the game. Got to get them clicks, baby. Like, I do want to address the general trend line in the game, because I am afraid perhaps we've sacrificed, not perhaps, I think we have straight up sacrificed too much in the name of balance. And we've lost, like, the magic of the game. By the way, quick shout out, 2+ Tough. Can't stay long, but I wanted to thank you both for consistency and content. Love what you do. Doug, We love you, buddy. Absolutely. It's good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well.
Doug,
Yeah.
I appreciate the thought, and I even appreciate you lying so blatantly about both me and Vince being, quote, consistent. Now, Vince for sure. Me, look, I got a I got a day job over here. But I appreciate the vote of confidence in any case.
Absolutely. I mean, look, hey, you're on Twitch a lot. It's pretty regular. We can find you over there. It is the source. You're there. You're pretty regular.
A bunch of live stuff now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's some new Lich Priests. I thought these models were amazing. I just really like them, like the little bugs holding up the scroll rack and stuff. The dude on horse with the little scales, like they just look wonderful. I love Lich Priest. The existing Lich Priest was dorky as. These new Lich Priests are incredible. Great, great stuff. This guy would be a really good Golden Demon model. The dude on foot.
It's looking great.
Yeah, like these are wonderful, wonderful models. And then, yeah, here we go. I grabbed the pictures. I grabbed them. I kind of had them out of order, but here's the Blood of the Bull, the new Underworld's warband for the Hellsmiths of Hushut. Speaking of expansion content, I like these guys. I like fat Chaos Dwarf in the front.
Before we get to expansion Chaos Dwarf stuff,
yeah,
let's go back to Tomb Kings real quick in that book.
Yes.
I really hope this wasn't. I got a tinfoil hat. It looks like liquid, but on the inside it's asbestos and tinfoil. I really hope this isn't a conscious directional decision, even though it probably is. The big lore, how do I put this? Big expansions, pages from the mages stuff, complete Psionics handbook stuff.
Yes.
Malign important the stuff that, back to my other comment, Age of Sigmar used to do this stuff. And everyone loved that. Like in brackets, like the meme, everyone loved that. Look at all this complexity, and complexity is kind of a bad word, I think, in game design as it pertains to advertising nowadays, but it really shouldn't be. I hope what hasn't happened is, well, now that we have the old world, we have a place to put all of the campaign lore, feats, class features, prestige classes, side content, million artifacts. We have a place to put all of the tons of options, tons of complexity. We got a game for the Tylenol people, right? And that's the old world now. And Age of Sigmar is for the streamlined, fast pickup user experience,
right.
shallow and boring, and nothing to really build or choose between. That is seasonal, like a Diablo 4 in all the bad ways, where it's seasonal just to get another seasonal monthly charge off of you with yet another borrowed power, except these are red and the other ones were green. And obsessing over balance, and we're just going to swap back and forth between this thing being good this season and bad the other season. I really hope that's not what their idea was from a 30,000 foot view. We got the streamlined game now, and then we have the fun game that gets all the fun stuff. Age of Sigmar used to get that. That's how we climbed the mountain in first place.
Yep.
That's how we got here, on the backs of people who liked that. Don't forget about that.
Very well said. Very well said.
We are all Tylenol people. This is wargaming.
Yeah, exactly.
You hadn't heard that one yet. That's a new one. Great.
Martin Orlando, thank you for the super chat. That AOS is Dead show will require two guests, both at opposite ends of the argument peak television debate brawl. Yes, one of them must be wearing a bow tie for reasons I cannot explain, but we have to go full Crossfire 2004.
Yeah. And there has to be like a fourth person who's a PNG tuber for no reason, saying the hottest nonsense.
I'll put everybody on the little slices, the little vertical things, like
get a moderator.
Yeah.
He's pivoting.
Your take on that?
He's deflecting.
Yeah.
That's an appeal to authority.
says I bought into with the super chat says I bought into AOS with Hellsmiths. Fun hobbying so far. Heck yeah, dude. I've been putting together the whole box set this week. We'll talk about that in hobby time. But yeah, I really like these little dorks. I've never liked dwarves, but I'm so in for these guys. So they got me. Speaking of little dwarves, here's those little dorks. We got our nice full-bodied dwarf leading the fray here. And then, you know, I love Grizzled Gun Guy as well. He's fun. It's a very cool looking.
Wide.
Yes. It's a very fun little warband. The only thing I don't love is the dumb Hobgrot or whatever. Like, I despise those stupid Hobgrots. I will never use those. I don't care how useful they are. Garbage. Get out of my army.
The Noblars of Hellsmiths. Everybody needs to have their stupid chaff that no one likes.
Yep. I refuse. I refuse to play this. I'm playing Hellsmiths. I will build and paint 0 of these little dorks. It's not going to happen. Stop it. I'm not painting 70-point units or whatever they are. Nope. 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 Okay. And that's pretty much that. I think that's more or less all the news. Couple other quick news items here, I guess, at the end of the news. Number 1, this weekend is LVO. I believe the AOS tournament has 118 players. I wish everybody luck who's out at LVO this weekend, out in Vegas. Hope everyone has a great time. That's awesome. I look forward to seeing what happens this weekend. What does the new world look like? What do we get it's a good weekend for good results. 118 players, you know, lots of games, going to add hundreds and hundreds of results into the stats for the new season. So that's great. Also, just wanted to quickly shout out that our newest episode of Fireball the Gazebo, the RPG podcast, is up. It came up yesterday, and we're talking all about combat and like combat in your RPG and how to make it not suck. Yeah, there you go. That's basically it.
The gazebo, and that's an old reference.
Yes, yes. We went back and forth quite a lot, and I landed on Fireball the Gazebo while I was sitting. We were chatting back and forth. I was in Amish country at a very old Amish restaurant, and they had their cell service because you know they got to take credit cards somehow. And we were just talking back and forth names, and I was like, "How about?" And I thought about that meme, and I was like, "How about Fireball the Gazebo?" And he was like, "Perfect," and that was it. Nailed it. So there we go. Okay. So yeah, check it out. We talk all about combat, what makes it good in a game, what makes it bad in a game. You know, are random encounters good or bad? Who knows? How do you make it more interesting? What about chaff? Is that okay? What about your trash? Yeah. I argue very much that they're good. Yes.
Yeah. You get to be a part of the gears outside of the camera frame. Like that's
yes.
It's fun to invite the players into that.
It's the texture of the world, right? You understand.
Not always, but yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
We got knowers in the chat.
That's right. Okay. And stay tuned for next week's episode, which I was going to tell Halo this beforehand. I only mentioned next week. I don't normally talk about what's going to happen beforehand. But next week's episode of Fireball the Gazebo, I convinced John, since he was very busy this week, and he's like, I'm not going to have time to prep anything. I was like, don't worry about it. I got it. We're going to do the Rifts episode. So it's all Rifts. It's just, and John has never played Rifts. He knows nothing about it. So I'm going to be just introducing him to this insane world. So look forward to a Rifts episode as well. If you want the craziest RPG ever written, there you go. That's not true. That's probably more
my culture.
But like secondly.
Those are my people.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So at any rate, let's get over to some pick of the week. I'm going to flip back to the cover here. There we go. All right. Pick of the week. Halo, what would you like to share with everybody?
Well, as due to events that transpired, I see someone in chat, CJ Shiat in chat, says, Halo will no doubt have a niche pick of the week, but I just want to shout out Trent Hallbrook's Permadeath Hobby blog and also Threshold Tactics.
Wow. Okay.
I appreciate you knowing that I wasn't going to have a pick of the week this week. As always, when I don't have one, watch the least viewership content creator that you watch.
Sure.
Do that. and then respond to their thing. Type, "Hey, good work," or whatever. Talk about them on Twitter if you're still on that awful platform. You know, every little interaction counts, right?
Yes.
Help out
Yes.
the little guy.
So my shout out for this week is actually for something that's pretty fun. Because I haven't got to try them yet, but I'm very interested. It's something I watched and I'm interested in. Juan Hidalgo. He apparently Vallejo is making a new line of like colored true metallic metal paints. Now, I haven't seen them yet. I know nothing about them other than what you all know. But I'm interested. You know, I love true metallic paints. He has a nice little first look and basic techniques with them. I am very interested. So if you're interested in metal paint like I am, if you are a metal paint enjoyer, check it out. I'll link it down below. Juan Hidalgo gives you a little first look. There's a lot of color to them. So if you want to do colored metallics, which I'm generally very against, but I'll give everything a shot. I'm open to a new product being good. So yeah, so we'll see how that looks. I can't wait to get my hands on some of these and give them a test. That's what I'll say. That's my pick. That's my crossover hobby pick of something I am very, very interested in this week. So there you go. Hades said, Vince, how can I make metallic blue? I can't find any metallic blue paints. Well, like I said, my first advice would be don't make colored metallics. That's the easiest answer. Okay. Now, if that's not a good enough answer and you are bound and determined to do colored metallics, then do it. My answer, not knowing how these Vallejo works, which they do have blue in the range, but I can't vouch for those yet. So my answer right now of what I would do is I would do a nice steel to silver, something like that, transition, airbrush or brush, dry brush, doesn't matter, a Vallejo metal color. And then I would take some Tamiya blue, like the clear blue, which is like the X line or whatever. I would take some Tamiya. I had to turn and look at my wall. X23, and you thin that down and you spray that over the top. It's a beautiful candy coat. It will preserve the metallic shine. It will look pretty freaking awesome. That's how I would do it right now. Okay. So there you go. That's what I would do at this moment. Why am I against colored metallics? Because they always look amateurish. They always look childish, is really a simple answer. They look like toys because people don't bother to then shade and highlight them in the same ways that you have to. The only way you make metallics look good is by applying shading and highlighting and appropriate transition of value. When people apply colored metallics, they're just like, and it's bright purple, silver color, purple metal, it's all purple metal, and then it ends up looking like a little child's toy. That's why I'm against it. Because they become very hard to like highlight and shadow. But you can do it if you pre-shade with the steel and stuff like that. I'm trying to get my camera to refocus on me. It's making me angry. Find me. There you go. All right. Anyways, so yeah, there's the answer. We'll see what happens. Okay, cool. Let's talk about some hobby time. Hey, Will, what have you been working on? You've been you mentioned Trench Crusade. You've been doing that only digital? You're gonna get an actual like you know, war band together?
Well, somehow Games Workshop knew. Just like
somehow the Emperor has returned. Yes.
Lord Sidious returned, yeah. Because I was looking in the Trench Crusade. I played it a few times digitally, made a Discord channel about it, and everybody, I don't know, seems pretty excited about it. Game's good, man. The rules are good. Anyway, that Tomas guy knows a thing or two about game design. I'll tell you what.
He knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah. And the models are pretty cool too. And you know, I was trying out different armies, and I'm like, I might get some of these printed off and paint one up. I just got to decide on which one. And I was thinking about it, and that thinking psychically transferred through the radio waves around our planet. And Games Workshop is like, we're about to lose him. Can't have that. Push the ogre button.
Yes.
And then
yes.
they push the ogre leak button, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'll wait.
Yep. Oh, I'm back on board.
I'll wait to see how this all percolates down. And so we're playing the waiting game. but I was dangerously close to almost doing some hobby. Big.
Well, thank goodness they stopped you. I mean, like when the new Ogre
Yeah.
Force comes out, you're gonna have a lot of hobby in front of you. If it is as good
Oh
as we
yeah.
hope it is, if it's a true refresh, which we'll talk about. Will Lund with the super chat saying, "Hi Vince, I have to thank you, but it's sort of for an odd reason. Last week I was listening to the show on the way home from work, stopped for traffic, got rear-ended at full speed. Your voice helped. My God, dude, good Lord." Will, well, I'm happy I was able to help in some way. What a nightmare.
Oh.
Geez, I hope you're okay, brother. That sucks. But yeah, geez, I'm glad I was there with you in spirit. Admittedly, glad I was not with you in the car. So okay.
Hey, don't forget to get your lawyer on the phone. Oh man, your neck probably, even if it's not, maybe your neck's kind of feeling weird.
You got to watch
Just
out
tell
for
your
that
lawyer
soft
about
tissue
it.
damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
bad thing.
Speaking of soft tissue damage, here's a segue. Chicago Hobby Hero says, "Hey, well, apologies, I won't be at Dragonfall to bring a bucket of fireball shots again." That was you, boy. That really hit the spot. That was the perfect. That was the exact thing I needed at that moment, and I appreciate it. But don't worry too much about it because I myself won't be at Dragonfall this year either for like the first time ever. I'm kind of too busy, unfortunately. So you'll have to enjoy it without me. Apologies.
There you go. We all look forward to AdeptCon. That's the next time. That's where we'll be.
That's the big one.
Yes. Yeah, I'm already, got to get the decks prepped up and ready. It'll just be, I can't wait to have
Mhm.
a Spider-Man deck against a Final Fantasy deck against a Doctor from Doctor Who. It's going to be
I
fantastic.
can't wait to crack a McDonald's food token and flip Chaos Orb 2 onto the field. Official Draft Kings Chaos Orb. And
Official Draft
summon,
Kings Chaos Orb.
summon the U.S. Armies boots on the ground creature type. I can't wait. I cast Hearts and Minds. Anyway.
K Fox super chatting say, Vince, I have to thank you for an odd reason as well. In video years ago, you offhandedly mentioned James Wapple, and now I am a disciple of the oil. That's awesome. I mean, I hope I don't offhandedly mention James Wapple, one of the greatest hobbyists still alive and regularly creating content to this day. He is a hero. He is an amazing human being and just an awesome, awesome artist. So yes, and somebody who works in oils quite often, and someone who, whenever he's taken part in the Aces of Painting competition, you're going to lose, which is like an hour-long speed painting competition. And he crushes. He crushes. He had to retire the jersey. We had to put it in the rafters. He just won too much. We couldn't stop the man. So there you go. My hobby time is spent primarily doing two things. So first off, I've been assembling a lot of Hellsmiths of shit. That's just what I've been doing. I'm putting Chaos Dwarves together. Very excited about them. The second thing I've been doing is I finished up this. Sam was here over the weekend, and I finished up this girl right here. So this was my most recent project. This is like my serious display project I wanted to get done before I focused on, the army or whatever. And so, yeah, this is Talera or something like that from Inu Kingdoms. I don't know how to say her the name, but this was her. So this was very fun. Yeah. So I wanted to make her, in the original thing, I think she kind of looks like a dark elf, but I wanted to make her a little more wood elfy type of thing. So yeah, there you go. That's her. So anyways, yeah, it was a great project. I feel like I pushed myself more than I have on most other things. I think she's some of the best work I've ever done. So it was very nice. Daniel McDowell saying, just wanted to thank you. Started AOS with Stormcast, and your gold recipe has been amazing for the project. Hey, that's the best gold around. Absolutely. Get your Sigmar warriors ready to go. They are shiny and new. Across the Pond says, you got to tell us how you do the greenish fey elf skin. It's everything I want out of my wood elves. Well, Across the Pond, you'll be happy to know I did record a video out of the skin, and you'll see it in incredibly outrageous detail because it's all a video all about focusing on incredibly outrageous detail. So you will see all the colors and how I paint it to the nines. So there you go. Okay, cool. Hey, whoa. With that done, shall we turn to our primary topic today? which is Army evaluation. I call it replace, expand, cool. That's what I've decided to title this. How's that sound?
Are we doing a palate cleanser?
Yes. Before we begin this, why don't we palate cleanse? Hit us, Haywo.
Yeah,
Tell us about what you fought with today.
Let's have a 1984 acerbic diatribe with nothing to do with AOS.
Yes.
But
and
you
now for something completely different
with your sushi. Yeah. And now for something completely different. I wrote a little thing, as I often do. So here we go. So I sat myself down about 2 hours ago to write up my customary little essay that I do every time I'm a guest on Warhammer Weekly. This week's subject, as given to me by Vince a day ago, was what armies need a refresh, what needs an expansion, and what's just fine. Nice little elevator pitch for me to spin something up about, as per the usual. No sooner had I fixed the margins in a brand new Microsoft Word document, I find them to be too big by default. I want more space for words, you see. When a Discord notification popped into my peripheral. Attention Discord server owner. We wanted to let you know that your server, Haywo Plus, has been designated as age-restricted and removed from server discovery. Your members will need to send us a picture of their driver's license, which we will only share with one other company, trust me, bro. While ostensibly in service to protecting the kids, as it always seems to be, this is actually just a vehicle for even more targeted and personal government surveillance and loss of privacy, to help cover our asses against the growing authoritarianism of American governance and the quivering lips and pearl-studded police batons of the European ones. We're getting out ahead of the writing on the wall by letting robots do whatever the hell they want. We think blind automated compliance before we're even asked to is the best way to lick boots in the digital age. As you might have guessed, I added that last half on account of having a chip on my shoulder from the last time this happened. Not with real IDs and face pictures, that's a new 1984, but the previous event I'm about to describe got my server put on a watch list, and one that despite me spending an evening putting the pieces back together, it seemingly never really got taken off. My server was previously delisted and fully demonetized due to hate speech. At the time, what was a surprise to see, as we don't do that. I figured some bot joined and started spamming stuff, but as I dug into it, that was not the case. As an aside, I already wasn't in a good mood, since this happened right around the time that one of my favorite directors, David Lynch, passed away. We had a grand old time on stream and in Discord talking about our favorite movies and memes, and indeed TV shows of our fallen friend. It's Friday once again, all that stuff.
What's a Wookiee?
Yeah. He had a migraine when he was talking to George Lucas. Could you expand on that about what happened in that movie? No. The movie is the conversation. Anyway, happened to be most of my mods were also fans of his. We even made a channel so members could add to the memorial called David Lynch's Dream. Wait a minute. David Lynch's Dream. Demonetized for hate speech. David Lynch. Hate speech. Oh. You ever feel like the way we're going is just completely wrong? Now, I don't make any money from Discord, but some people do, and it's chilling thought that some unthinking, unsupervised machine can see a word with no context and explode your way of making a living. So how am I going to tie this into Age of Sigmar? Well, I'm not. But when Age of Sigmar began, it was a disorganized mess, a scramble of shattered, bookless keyword factions floating on a frozen door at the end of Titanic. Grand Alliance books, soup as far as the eye could see. Some of the early battle tomes had rules that were literally worse than just playing them as a generic GA army. My army, Beastclaw Raiders, was one such example. Do you recall? Pepperidge Farms doesn't remember. Remember you had to give up Battle Brew and Destruction Move for a chance at rerolling ones to save as their battle trait? Hilarious. Every GHB and every edition we played a sub-game of the game. Not a fun one. The kind you bite your fingernails over. Will you stay or will you go? Will Gutbusters get rules or be retired in the Legends? What about Wanderers, Order Draconis, or Tom's precious but ill-fated Swift Hawk agents?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Pour one out.
Now, I thought, with the coming of 3rd edition, that the great faction purge had finally come to an end. At a certain point, you got to look over all the armies you sell and say, this is what we got, these are the game, and we support our game. With the advent of 4th edition, I guess that's just not the case. Yet? Question mark? But that's not on the game directors and rules writers. Some guy in a suit tells them how products are going to be, and they got to do whatever they can, in the no doubt small amount of time they're given, to pick up the pieces. They are the NASA engineers in Apollo 13 that had to make a round hose fit into a square hole, using only non-essential junk that happened to be in the lunar lander already. Iron Guts and Gluttons looking and being basically completely the same. Chaos Knights versus Vanguard. Many such cases. If you were designing an army rules first, you'd be thinking of jobs and roles, paying special care to not step on any toes when you're making the models. When the models come first, you're given big melee guy and bigger melee guy. So you make one more expensive. Players do the math on their Windows 11 calculators. One gets spammed in every list, the other wilts on the vine, and perhaps the store shelves. With this fun tier list, we're kind of really talking to two very different people. Which model lines should get overhauled, or are they fine, and which rules, army rules, should get overhauled, and whatever. These are two very different people in two very different parts of the company that sometimes feel like they're not even in the same building. I know which of the two that I think have an office right next to the water cooler or water heater, and their stapler. There was a second great purge, though, and that one kind of is on them. There was a great model and faction and even army sometimes purges, right? But with 4th edition specifically, I call it the Great Flavor Purge.
Yes.
And I am reminded of Red Letter Media when they were reviewing Rian Johnson's Star Wars movie. I don't know if I have any RLM fans in here, or adult onset childhood diabetes D-list stars. But Disney did exactly what they told them to do, kinda, but it was like a monkey's paw. They're like, you should give Star Wars to some otherwise good director and just let him do whatever he wants. Let him get creative, Don't adhere so much to this formulaic train track of, we have to plan everything, and the boardroom directors have to all do this and get veto power. Just let somebody creative do their own thing. It'll be great. And they did, and it was terrible. It was so bad. And so what am I saying? Like, they should really go through all the war scrolls in the whole game and iterate on them, edit them,
Yep.
Really spend the time. And you know what? Get one of those big head guys, one of those big brain guys, maybe pull them from game design and video games or something. I don't know. Get a smart guy on it. And then if you give them the time, really go through every war scroll and just make it good. And they did exactly that. And it's terrible. Now, you could say, well, I didn't mean to do it like that, I didn't mean take everything out. I didn't mean have a casino section for no reason that has no relation to anything else, in the movie. Or ignore, in fact, undo stuff just for the lols that happened in the first one and purposely make it hard to sell the third as a joke. I don't know. Anyway, it happened, and I don't like it now. We had a great flavor purge. Put it back in. I wonder if I'm going to do a bit for this entire show, but that would get tiresome. I'll just talk about it now and pretend I'm doing it the whole time. There should be a tier on the tier list called, and I'm not exaggerating, minimum triple the amount of choices, options, and special fun rules in the battle tome, and at least double it on every war scroll. Put that on a tier list. Every single army goes there, bar none.
Right.
Everyone.
Right.
That would get a little old, but that's how I feel. Soggy rules. That one page of SOG, you should make one of those pages for every page in the battle tome and have that be the battle tome, right?
Yep.
We need a turkey baster injection of the juice.
We need the arcane encyclopedias. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, so
the arcane encyclopedias. We need the realm artifacts #2. We need the campaign books that have a ton of rules and stuff in them. The old world isn't just for the people who like trains, okay? Everybody does. This is we used to have it in Age of Sigmar. That's how we got here. This is my pitch. You don't have to give each game a hard track like this in that way. Because that's what we did to get here, to get to the good place. Don't forget it. As you can see, this is kind of now sort of spiraling off into ramblings, much like the end of The Big Lebowski. But that's what happens when I didn't have time to fix it, because the goddamn government.
There you go. Beautiful. I love it, Haywo. And what a perfect segue. I see you said you weren't going to tie it in, and then you got us right there. You got us right there. All right. So let's talk about what we're doing here. Army evaluation. Replace, expand, cool. So the rules of this.
Is this
okay?
Marry, kill, or I can't say that on a Christian broadcast.
Right. Kind of. Yes. We're going to rank each army on whether it should receive a model expansion, okay, a model refresh, or nothing. So we're going to talk about purely the models first. Just the models. It's all we care about. No rules. Okay? It's just the aesthetics to begin with.
Yeah. Pretend you're Games Workshop.
Right. Like, and that's why...
You don't care about the rules at all. You only care about the models. Pretend you're Games Workshop.
Right. And the reason that I want to start with just the models is for exactly the thing you set up, right? Which is everything is downstream of the models, right? The sort of sculptors, the high ups talk to the sculptors, the director, the artists and the sculptors and stuff like that. And then more or less the rules people come at the end of the sequence. Like their directors have a rough idea of what's being done vaguely, but it's like, the sculptors and the directors of that studio more or less decide the direction of the company. Okay. Like the leaders in that group. It's not like every sculptor just gets to work on whatever they want. That's not how it works, right? It's not that diffuse.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny? It's just like each sculptor, they're just like,
so many underworlds that you can have, right?
Yeah. But the leaders of that studio and then upper management has this outsized impact. And so in my estimation, we have to set first what we want from the models. Then we can go in and layer the rules on top. Okay, so we're going to do that as the second tier list. Okay. So.
And you could just say every time, you should just give them more models. Everybody wants more models for their line, but we're going to, I don't know if we're on the same page. We probably are.
We usually are.
We're going to show some restraint here.
That's right.
It's a big deal to give somebody more models even when they have a lot. Look at what just happened. Sarcosanct had to go away. Why?
Yep. Like we're going to talk about keeping the health of the game in mind.
They got way too much. Yeah. How much can they handle? How much can fit on that plate? This isn't a buffet. You can't go up and get a second one. Something's got to fall off every once in a while. And every time that the biggest faction gets more stuff, every time you make an entire Dark Oath line superfluously in Slaves of Darkness, something else might fall off the edge of the plate.
Right.
And so we make we don't make those decisions lightly either, even though it would be nice to give everybody candy, like a parade at the state fair.
That's right. So,
Anyway, go ahead.
Roland, to be clear, I'm not asking for us to become the old world. I'm saying the Arcane Journal release methodology, like putting out other books, expansions, smaller, lighter expansions, is what I want to see. And that could take the form of like one book per army, or it could just be like, here's a Grand Alliance book and it has new armies of renown and heroic traits and artifacts and stuff like that for all of the destruction armies or something. I think that'd be a very cool way to go. And I would buy that book. And I imagine a lot of people would buy that book. So like, and it would give alliances an actual meaning again for the first time and basically forever. So at any rate, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Like as a strategy, we need to learn from that side in that regard. Okay. Yeah, no problem, Roland. Oh, okay. You're good with that. Thank you for clarifying. Yes, I understand. Like I did want to be clear. I like their general, like the idea that they can keep evolving armies, both narrative and rules and lore and items and expansion content and stuff like that through additional books is great. We wait 3 whole years, then you take your old book and it's like a 50-50 shot that your book basically plays exactly the same, or you throw that entire book in the trash and now you have a totally different playing army. That's why, hey, well, when we talked about Hellsmiths last week, one of the things I said that some people didn't understand, like they couldn't cotton to what I'm saying, so I'll restate it here. One of the things about Hellsmiths that attracts me is I know they're not going to keep their overall Desolation token, Demonic Power Points, DPP rule. They won't. They won't keep that long term because there's nothing indelibly tied. And people are like, oh, yeah, there's nothing about, an army that goes forth and industrializes and conquers that would make it tie into Desolation. And I'm like, no, you're right. Now take the next step. Okay. And that directly ties it to accounting demonic power points. How? Go ahead. Tell me in their lore exactly where you see them doing careful book work and placing demonic power around on their different army locations. No. Okay. That's a perfectly fine construct and expression of that, but it's not Stormcast lightning bolting in from the heavens. It's not Khorne blood tithe. Those mechanics will never change. Like what you get off the table will change for Khorne. But the idea that you get a blood tithe point every time you kill something and you spend that for rewards from Khorne, that is in every Khorne book going forward, period, end of story.
Yeah. And even when your own guys die, that as well as a cornerstone.
Yep.
It's the quote. They'll have that forever.
Yes, because it's so indelibly tied to like the entire everything of the like there is such a verisimilitude to it, right? And the Hellsmiths, I'm like, well, this is fine. I don't love this mechanic. I don't hate it. It's fine, and it'll change, and so whatever. I like all the models, so I'm good. That's the reason to collect an army. Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Like the Gitz moon, the bad moon. Oh boy, there's a great example.
Sometimes you wish you could escape from it.
Mm-hmm.
Someday they'll make a moon that's even remotely enjoyable as a play experience.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay. So let's get into the tier list. First one. Here we go. This is our model list. I've got all the books over the side. As per usual, we have 3 colored boxes. We're going to stick them in. In this case, we will have to, hey, well, we're not playing footsie here with this. You and I are going to be hardcore about this. You go completely into one tier. Okay. No halfies. Our 3 levels here.
Sitting centrists here, except for the center of the 3 ones. But
right. So you got 3 levels. Number 1 is scrap it. Basically, scrap it is when when more than 50% of the range effectively needs to be redesigned. Okay.
Can you edit this, or is this a finished?
I can edit it. No,
PDF or something. Okay. Because just visually, scrap it feels like out of context. We're saying like junk it, like get it out of the game, but we mean completely reinvent it, right?
Yeah. You want to call it something else?
Just something, reinvent, ground up.
I'll call it redo it.
Something like that. Yeah.
There you go.
Ground up reset or something like that.
There you go. That's good. We'll do ground up.
Scrap it is like, give it the boot from the game itself. And that's not,
There you go. So we got 3 categories. We've got ground up reset. We've got expand it. So in other words, like they're good. They just need some more stuff, right? They need more. It's a little thin, too little butter spread across too much bread. Okay. Maybe in that you get a model or two, you get a unit or two refreshed, right? Okay. And then lastly is no touchy. No touchy is fine. You're good. You're okay. You don't need anything right now. We can put you on the shelf for now. Dad bought Nap God. I really wanted. So funny. He said bop it. When I wrote this, I really tried to find a way to use like bop it, smack it, that thing to make that the 3 tiers, but I could not figure out a way to make it fit. But I really wanted to. So it's very funny that Dad bought that you pulled out the same thing.
Damn, these Halo viewers are kind of funny every once in a while.
There you go. Okay.
Are we starting in alphabetical order with Stormcast Eternals, or do you gotta?
I mean, it's usually whatever I happen to reach over here and grab first is usually where we start. But yes, Stormcast Eternals. Let's go for it. They're right there. I see them. I grabbed them. They have been grabbed. Again, this is for models only. Okay. Sure. I got an easy one.
This one is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say it's hard. So maybe already our wires are crossed.
Ooh, exciting.
But mine's just a joke. So this one's hard because I wish there was the opposite of expand it.
Shrink it.
Shrink it was on there.
Sure.
It's a terrible thing, kind of what they did, for sure, in getting rid of stuff that people bought into to support the game. It's still too big. It's too big. They got too many things.
Yep.
Too much of all of it. And so I have to say no touch.
Of course. It's no touch. It's easy. And you're right. By the way, if they were going to cull from it, the way that you would properly cull a second time would be to cull some of the heroes, what they should have done. And those heroes should not go away. Those models should not go away. They should just be able to, they should just say, these 2 heroes are this guy. Like these 2 models are this guy.
Come up with exactly 4, maybe 5 foot heroes and put all 26 of them in there somewhere.
Yeah, like the special characters can stay there. Like it's fine. Like Bastion and Yandrasta.
Named guys, keep them. But like 4 generic foot heroes, just say you can use accounts as for almost any of them.
These, and it's what they should have done with Sacrosanct. Liberators can now have little skirts or not.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. They look cool. They got robes. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, there's models I wish looked better. I don't like the Selston Prime at all and all sorts of other stuff. But you are an overserved gentleman. No touch.
Yep. Just some dude with a super chat saying, hey, Vince, currently building up some Chaos Dwarfs. Awesome. And I plan on giving them lava bases. Classy. Very good. My question is, how do you give a glow of lava on the rocks where the lava meets? It's pretty, like, you want to make sure the rocks are black. You kind of black them out. And then wherever your lava is on the edges, it's as simple as the easiest way to do it legitimately is you just do a nice light dry brush with a soft makeup brush of like an off-white, like an ivory, something that's very warm, buff, bone, anything like that. And then you just dry brush back over that or with an orange. And then if you want to get real fancy, you can do a little very light spray with your airbrush in that direction with some orange paint. When you do that spray and all that kind of stuff, you can use like an orange fluorescent so it really has some pop. That's really all there is to it. It's very easy. You just kind of cast up softly onto those cracks. I do have a video, by the way, that walks through this, just some dude. If you go back in the hobby cheating playlist, I have a lava-based video that walks you through exactly how to do this. So check it out. All right. Next up. Who we grabbing next? I'm just going to grab somebody here. Let's grab, not them. We got to save them. Okay. We'll do, let's go for their opposite. Slaves to Darkness.
I found myself once again wanting to shrink it. But this is hot takes. The entire Dark Oath line, not only just actually get rid of it, whole thing. Get out. But I think it has to be no touch. Everything looks great. Everything is
great.
To be. Yeah.
It has to be no touch.
Way too many things. An entire weird tangent they went on for a long time there, probably maybe because of all these sub games, Warcry and everything like that. They gave us all these really cool cultists and then got rid of all of them and then replaced them with the most boring barbarian people ever in the army, where their whole thing is that they're giant black armored caped bad guy chads with fluffy collars. I don't know. Yeah, they're like, their good stuff is like perfect.
Yeah.
Even their refresh happened, and it's really just like an upgrade from PS2 graphics to PS5.
Right.
They just increased the poly count basically. Because you don't need you already got there. It's like Skaven. You got the perfect look. Just make it high fidelity, I guess.
If I was going to say anything with your Dark Oath comment, I wouldn't say get rid of them. I think I would actually love to see them. Like, if we were going to talk about, I would rather see them split. I think you could legitimately make two armies
make
out of this book.
army for sure. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, for
you
sure.
could have the sort of big monsters on the Iron Wall and all of that, Chaos Lords and Knights and Varangard and Warriors and Sorcerer Lords and all of that garbage could just be its own force. And then like the Dark Oath and the Barbarians and all that, who like have a very different story and narrative than the people who fully fall into chaos anyways, would be perfectly serviceable as their own army. And they would be a lot more compelling. You could actually do cooler stuff with them and actually write rules that would make people want to play them, right? Because they keep getting screwed over by having to fit into rules that are clearly not meant for them, right? Because they have to be like the stepchildren of chaos.
You could do an entire Dark Oath as the adversary, or as the dark counter to Cities, even.
Right.
In the way that Cities is world building, almost more so than Stormcast even is, right?
Yep.
Dark Oath were the general population of the realms for about 800 years.
Right. Yeah,
That's just what happened when the doors were shut. And so you could
most people were Dark Oath barbarians, yes.
Yeah, you could scoop some world building ice cream out of that, make them their own thing.
And we've seen so many cool characters come out of there, so whatever. Yes, do that. That would actually be what I'd love to see in the future, but definitely no touch slaves. We do not need any additional stuff. Okay. I see them. I want to grab them. We're hitting to several no touches here in a row, I suspect. Gloom Spite.
Well, we got the quote unquote main good guys and the quote unquote main bad guys, and that
sure
they are well served.
Gloom Spite gets. Dear God, stop. Please stop. Is my answer.
Please. It's like Mr. Clouseau with the waffle thin mint. Like one more goblin on a wolf, and he's gonna blow up.
Yes. I mean, do we need 5 separate armies in this one book? It is ridiculous.
It's not funny. It sucks. It sucks to have that happen to you.
Because no matter which book, somebody loses. Right? Like now it's like given, and I mean, it's always spiders always suck. They've been an appendix for like ever. And then basically it just rotates around which 2 get to be garbage otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we just need new spiders. No, it's too, you can't fit any more people on the elevator. We're at capacity. The fire marshal's about to come in. That's it. Yeah. No touch.
Like, look, if they wanted to say next release, we instead of giving you another dumb foot hero you don't care about, fine. And they redid the basic spider kit. Okay, cool. But that's still no touch in my book, right? Like, that's effectively no touch. But
I think you drive them out to the countryside.
Yeah. It's one of the 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. An appendix in that they serve no discernible function. Yes, correct, Cygnus. That kind of appendix. Like the one in your tum-tum, not the one at the end of a book that has references. Okay, cool. All right, who we picking next here? Okay, we'll grab one. A recent addition to the fray. As to say, in new books, not overall armies. Nighthaunt.
Okay.
The Spoopy Boys. Ghosts.
No touch.
Yeah. I don't think they need anything.
They got a lot, and a large amount of it looks great. Pretty cohesive, even. Half of the quote unquote float heroes, I guess. Look like Dark Soul bosses, kinda.
Yep.
Pity about those rules, but yeah, look great. Very single-minded on their look and theme. Arguably too much, maybe. But I can't say that with Stormcast right there. So yeah, no touch.
I agree.
You can't anyway. Your hand would go right through it.
Hey-oh, because they're ghosts. Ponce,
Try the
you're a
fish.
ghost.
I'll be here all night.
All right. Very good. Let's see. Who's up next? Here we go. Ossiarch Bone Reapers. OBR.
They're right on the edge, but we got to make hard decisions here.
So I've got an argument. Let me see. Let me hit you, and you tell me if this sells you. Okay. I think Ossiarch is definitely in the expanded category. Let me argue why. I think that their original launch was too anemic. If you compare it to like the Hellsmiths and how they kind of felt rolling out. Okay. I think that given their portrayal, they're supposed to be this like death. They're supposed to be like the beautiful silhouette of an army, like a classic army, right? That works in this mixed arms fashion. And if you read the stories, they mention lots of units that don't seem to actually exist in the book, like ballisty and stuff like that, right? Okay. And so like you could have light riders, cavalry that like scout and harry at range. You could have a like a sort of heavier infantry, small block infantry set that's meant to like be your flank, close the door, like Mortec stop, and then they countercharge and hit. You could have ballista, the aforementioned, right? Like boneless day. You know, like there's such obvious
archers
bone archers. Yep.
Of any place to put it in depth, you know, historically not a very ranged GA, OBR would be the place to put it.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I've been convinced. Yeah, expand it.
Yep. I think that would be fit very well into there. And by the way, it would be the easiest story to tell because they're literally just their forms are just made up crap that there's Mortisans think of. So like it's not hard. It's like, you know, if you're going to expand, like when you expand Slaves to Darkness or something, you have to be like, well, where'd these other chaos dudes come from? Right.
Yeah. And here it's like, we made some more.
Yeah, we just made new guys.
Right out of the oven. Yeah.
That's like literally my job. That's what I do. I sit around all day and think of new weird forms I can just shove souls into like a pinata. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, they have one Mortec archer in an Underworld's warband. Yeah, exactly. Feels like there's room there. That's what I'm saying.
That's the precedent. Yeah. So archer unit, fast cav, big normal bodies.
Yep, big normal bodies. Yep, and
maybe retire
additional war machine like a ballista or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Evan says, I can see the short story about a guy looking at a bow and then looking back at a skeleton and then looking back at the bow and then looking at the skeleton and just going, Okay. Let's make a fun, controversial one. Here we go. Fire Slayers. What do you think?
Too new to reset?
I thought you already went to where I was gonna go. I honestly think it's ground up reset. This army has failed. Try again.
So the thing about Age of Sigmar armies, and I mean ones specifically designed for Age of Sigmar. Think about them: Grodran Overlords, Idoneth Deepkin, Hellsmiths of Hashish, Oziarch Bone Reapers. There just isn't ever going to be a Tomb Kings of AOS.
Right.
That's too basic. It's just Egypt, right? They don't do that in AOS. For good or ill, some people like it, some people don't. Some people tire at times of needing to duct tape 2 or 3 animals together every single time. They're almost going to make something like a horse.
Yep.
Right? But it's like, instead of just Egypt, it's, we'll do a little Japan, we'll do a little Persia, maybe we'll do a little Serbia, we'll do a little this, we'll do a little, and just chuck it all in. Fire Slayers are one guy.
One model. Yes.
2,000 points worth of that guy. It's a single dude. It's one guy with
Control
a
C,
mohawk
Control V,
from
V,
the
V,
old
V, V,
game,
V, V, V,
and
V,
you
V.
play 80 of them, and that's the entire army.
Yeah,
It's entirely to one note. I don't even need to get into the old memes, bilateralis symmetricus, right? Their
sure.
famous foot hero, look like naked baby men, give them shoes, give them pants, all that other stuff. The army is entirely to one note. It's just one guy.
Yep.
They must have made this one real early before that other stuff.
And remember, the goal for ground up reset, it doesn't mean we have to literally can every unit in the range, right? It's 50% plus. Could be 100. 100 is 50% plus. That is true.
Right.
That's in that set, right? But if you think
You
like
could do
magma
it in a
droths are
nice
really
way
good,
where you can
sure.
play everything as it counts as from the older thing. You can figure
Right.
out a way to do it so that you don't screw over your customers.
Yes.
And
I
no,
don't
the
want to screw
answer
over
is
any
not
customers.
legends. The answer is not legends. Don't talk to me. But yeah, easy ground up reset.
Yep.
It's just
I
one
would
guy.
love to see them like actually make the units feel and look a lot more differentiated. There's lots of ways they could do that and be cool. I'd love to see them make I'd honestly love to see a Magma Droth redesign. I think they're way too static and similar. Like I played against Fire Slayers at
Yeah.
NashCon and the dude had like 3 different he had like a bunch of Magma Droths and he was like, "Well, this is this one and this is this one and this is this one." And I was like, "Okay, I'll believe you." Like
All right.
but I cannot tell why one would be different than the other, right? So, like I'd love to see them have more motion. They feel very static, just like 4 feet on the ground, or like one's kind of doing this or whatever.
Very
But
posed. Yeah.
yeah, I would just love to see that. Yeah.
They look like they're dancing at the start of Peacemaker, just frozen, like a screenshot.
Yep. And so, you know, just like there's little aesthetic touches you could do. You could add more units. I'd love to see them expand the concept. Again, we've talked about things like elementals and you know are like little tiny riders on little Volcatrixes and stuff like that. Like there's you know they can sure like as Roland said they could keep the big key axes sure like that's neat. I mean, like we all love keyblades. Why not? Okay, and
well, the first two maybe.
sure. I never played anything except the first, but I played it enough that sound is burned into my brain. I will be on my deathbed, and one of my final thoughts will be yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So like, there's just so much opportunity.
Had like
here.
a shield in that. Anyway, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Good. The only guy who, after the ground up reload, the only guy who shouldn't wear shoes is the guy they put on a surfboard on top of a lava wave for their wave Chad.
Right.
Give
yes.
him a pina colada and a coconut.
Okay. Good. So we got a ground up reset. All right. Next up, Idneth Deepkin. What are we doing with these guys? What are we doing with these guys?
They have a decent range.
It's not bad.
At the moment.
It's okay.
I really don't like what the eels look like or play like.
Sure.
And I don't mean play from rules because we're not talking rules here. I'm talking like the model on the table and just it's like a ladder you're trying to carry around a construction site. It's annoying. One of the problems with IDK is that it's so tempting to put into Expanded because you just think about the ocean and immediately you think of all these things you could put in there.
Yep.
Big crab, you know, corporate meme, big crab stuff, you know, whatever, crazy sea creatures, things like that. I don't want to have to do a count of how many units they have or whatever.
It's not a huge number, I will say. They're not huge.
Like one thing. Yeah. I say expanded, but give them like one thing.
Yeah, I think they're an expanded as well. I think that's right.
But it's close. I could say no touch.
Like aesthetically, there is I think the reason that the thing that makes me fall, because again, they land wholly into one space.
They kind of have everything, the whole food pyramid.
You got your big turtle, you got little mounted guys, you got little foot dudes, but
Yeah,
it's
you
what you
got
said. Like aesthetically, there's so
medium,
much fertile
half guard.
ground here of sea creatures, right? So like we're
Yeah.
not going to be stretching like with Fire Slayers, where they were just like, I don't know, more naked dwarves, I guess, right?
Mhm.
So the crabvory, yeah, or the crabblevory,
The
yeah,
cavalry, yeah.
you know, like yeah. So there's like easy things like that you could do, but I do think there's still space within their range as well. Like elite foot units would make a lot of sense, right? They don't kind of have that space filled. Like there's a couple of
Mhm.
different areas you could imagine them expanding into. It's probably not a huge expansion, but I think it's maybe 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that range of like additional sea
Yeah.
creatures and roles that they could fill that would be valuable in their game plan. Okay. That way it's not
Anything to
just
make
like
the
going
Marty,
back and forth of like eels and sharks, eels and sharks, eels and sharks. That's the book.
yeah.
Oh, and a Marty. Oh, never mind. They got nerfed again. Back to eels and sharks and eels and sharks and eels and
Yeah.
sharks. Okay.
Your army has a 16-inch flyer squad in it, or 2.
Mhm.
And you're not playing the 1 wound foot guys. You're just not.
Yeah. What is that? 1 wound with a 5-up save? All right.
All right. Nice.
One of the downsides of it's funny to me that like one of the big pushes in the game, you talk about the monkey paw curling and like things that change, right? One of the downsides is over time, the amount of mortal damage in the game has like, it looks like this, right? It's like it's just been on a straight downward curve, like the overall amount of mortal damage. Yeah. Even with like us adding in crit mortals.
Right, your webcam was flipped, so I'm like,
Oh,
I don't think it's been going up. I played in first edition. It was nuts.
sorry. That's funny. Yeah, no, sorry. Down. It's been going down to Goblin Town, right? And one of the side effects of that, like when mortal damage was kind of, there was a lot of it. 1 health, low save infantry was actually an interesting, excellent counter to that.
It was very common. Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
It was good against it in ways that their multi-wound great armor save guys weren't.
Mm-hmm.
You probably saw the most bad armor cheap guys be played in the mortal wound era, because you're paying such a premium for it, and then you're just like, here's 60 Noblars.
Right.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
6 mortal wounds on a 2-up. Okay, I'll take this. All right.
Right. I'm good.
300 points for that? 300
Yeah.
points? Cool. All right.
Exactly. Nice. But as we've cut so much mortal damage out of the game and uppriced the stuff that exists, right? What that has meant is that low armor save, low wound, low health, whatever you want to say, units just become garbage because everybody has like rend 1 or 2. And so they just don't have a save. And so it's just that just buckets of damage will come out and just lift those units instantaneously. Like I never play clan rats anymore in my Skaven armies because they're just not worth it. Even though I can put an egregious number of them on the table for just cheap as chips, it's just not worth it. When an opponent can lift 70 of them in a turn, I don't know what the heck having 120 of them matters, right? It's like, okay, great. So, okay, cool. Okay. Moving on. Sons of Behemoth, the Giants.
Ground up reset.
Ground up reset. You failed. You done messed up, AA Ron. Okay.
They tried. I don't know what they tried to do, but I'm gonna anthropomorphize the company for a moment. They tried to create a brand new army on the cheap out of nothing. They're like, what if we make 1 box and then have an entire army? 1 box. No leg options, right? We'll use the worst model we currently sell, Aelgos or Gargant, just put it in there and force them to use it. And that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yep.
And then when we're writing the rules for it, we'll cheap out too by making every war scroll exactly the same for 90% of it and give them 1 singular rule to denote which of the 4 normal guys it is. And it didn't work in every way. You got to give them an alternative leg kit, like you gave them the big hammer king broad thing.
Sure.
You gotta jettison the Ale Guzzler Gargants, now Man Crusher Gargants, into the sun, you gotta make one thing. Like, there are 2 models really in the
Yep.
whole book,
Yeah.
and one of them is new and one of them is really old and bad. And so that, if I was even going to say expand it, it would still qualify as ground up because that's 50%.
Right.
They only have
Right.
2 boxes.
Like,
Get real.
it's so wrong. There are so many great ways you could do giants, right? Like massive giants. There's so much cool.
So many good ways.
Like, and they chose officially none of them. They were like, they literally picked the dumbest take of like the fee fi fo fum British giants because they're all a bunch of insular British country weirdos who've never heard a single piece of lore or myth from outside of their tiny insular self-important island, and so didn't bother to actually think about what this army could look like, would look like, and instead just, yes, made one kit, and it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible.
What if they were inbred from the Hills Have Eyes people, wearing kind of like no clothes and just herpa-derping around everywhere? Like, the worst idea for giants. Actually, the second worst. Because credit where it's due, the worst is Ale Guzzlers. And so they're on a trajectory towards justice. It bends towards justice, but it's got to be a long lever.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to be.
They could have done like different size giants. They could have pulled from lore like D&D, or you know, sort of various and sundry like Viking world type, you know, the general, that myth, sweep of myth.
Almost. Yeah.
They could have done Eastern inspired giants because there's a whole bunch of stuff over there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, there's so many options that they could have done. And again, they chose absolutely none of them. So wrong, you failed. It's terrible. Stop it. Get help. Okay, great, cool. Next. Easy money. Seraphon.
Yeah.
Lore, or whatever. Sorry. The lizards is what I meant to say. I don't know why I said lore. I was thinking about their story. Seraphon. What are we doing with these guys?
They got somewhat of a refresh. I would just like the second shoe to drop on that refresh. Keep it going. Okay. You're not done yet. Continue the refresh you were already doing with the Carnosaur and the little Triceratops looking thing and the other stuff. Yeah, I would say finish the second half of the refresh that you started.
So do you want to put them in where you want to put them? Where's your head at with them?
What does a refresh count as, I guess?
Probably expand it realistically. That's basically right. If you're talking about less than 50%, it'd be an expanded.
Yeah, I'm kind of talking about like the Skaven one or the Slaves one, where it's just like PlayStation graphical upgrade.
That would be ground up reset if we're talking the Skaven one, because that was most.
Oh yeah, the Skaven one. Yeah, and they did get a bunch of new stuff. I guess it's more like the STD one. Yeah, expanded in that way, I think.
Okay.
They have a lot of units all over the place, and it is kind of schizophrenic in a certain way. But we'll get to that when we talk about the rules.
Yep.
Just aesthetically, it seems like we got a hard divide between almost Protoss and what is the Dino Lasers game from back in the day?
Oh God, what was it? Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Dino Riders.
Dino Riders. There it is. Yes. I think of the little commercial where the kid fires the missile at the other dinosaur and knocks it over. That's, I can see the commercial. Saturday morning cartoon advertising. Okay, yeah, I agree. I actually changed it to be expanded or refresh, or like that's like partial refresh, right? So if you're talking less than 50%, which is what this is. Okay, cool. I agree. There's just old kits here hanging out that could use some touch, right? You mentioned a couple of them. Sure, easy peasy. All right.
Yeah.
Soulblight Gravelords. I mean, it's no touch, right?
Yeah, you guys are good.
Right.
Just a million kits.
Right.
Most
they all
of
look
them
awesome.
are newish now. they finally, you know, most of it is newish now. You're good.
Yep.
And over time, they'll slowly be losing Cursed City stuff, probably, or continue to.
Yes. I mean,
no touch, easy.
No touch, easy. Like they did so much work on this already, and it came out
thing
great.
I could have said, yeah, the only thing I could have said is the velocity looks terrible and always has, but they fixed that.
Yeah, then they made that incredible dude, and so it's like, well, all right, we're good.
Perfect. That's it. You're done.
Yep. Okay. Assistant ref says what Soul Blight really needs is another 6 named vampires.
Yeah.
Update the corpse cart. No, refuse. The corpse cart must always stay the exact same crappy model. I want it to be 2045 and it's still that model.
For me.
Okay.
It looks like it's made out of popsicle sticks glued together.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the funniest model. Like every army has to have this one lodestone around their neck. Like for Skaven, it's Night Runners, right? Just some like just dangling
the barrel of monkeys looking ones. Yeah.
Yes. All right. LRL. The Lumineth Realm Lords.
Stop. Please stop. I know you only released half of Avatar: The Last Airbender's elementals so far.
Yep.
But you have to stop. Please, God. Everything basically looks great, really. There's some weird stuff, I suppose, but like it's cohesive, it's great. I find it interesting that they're exploring different ways to overproduce elf models by making them steal dwarven stuff like being mountainous and having hammers, or stealing furry anime stuff by making them fly and things like that. But yeah, we are, if any other army got 3 entire orange bar tier expansions, it would start to look like LRL.
Sure.
Chill.
So here's my answer.
Not for 10 years.
Sure. I love how this hangs over them, by the way. This like because they had so many expansions so rapidly, even though they really haven't had anything of significance for a while. I mean, they had like River Blades or whatever, but that was just, you know, that was like that wasn't really a big thing. Because of this, they still feel like an army that's got a ton of love. So I'm going to put out a simple argument here, okay? Which is these guys are like LRL as they currently exist are no touch. Okay? No touchy. All right? They're fine. They're great.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm with you so far.
LRL has these other elements, our otters, our hippopotamuses, our fire hippos, and our water otters, whatever we're going to get, okay? Whatever crazy. No. Maybe it's a James hippo Cameron. Staple to an otter. I don't know. You know, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whatever 5 movie Avatar franchise we've got going on here, the Water Book and the Book of Fire or whatever nonsense crap. I saw the trailer for that Avatar movie and I was like, did that other one come out? I guess like that's how little I care about that franchise, and I feel much the same about LRL. But
I was forced to watch the Way of the Water.
Okay.
It was not good.
Sure. The original one was bad, so it's not surprising.
It was not good.
But oh my God, Cygnus Hippotter Sure Spears, solid. So like my point is that like there's a lot of space they could go explore and I'd be fine with it. All that stuff should be explored as a second book that is called whatever you're going to call Tyrion's army and is a separate army.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do
Wouldn't it be interesting that the other 2 elements were in the other book instead?
Like, put them in a different book. I'm fine with Tyrion coming out the same way I'm fine with eventually Malarian having his army, and it should be separate from Doc. Like, so for the same reason I said Dark Oath should be stripped out of Slaves to Darkness. Give them their own identity, right?
Yeah, and the same reason why Cruel Boys should have their own book and Iron Jaws should have their own book.
Absolutely. Speaking of, let's talk about Auric War Clans, whatever the heck that even means in this context, right? So obviously, as per always, we have to do 2 of these since it is 2 completely and legitimately separate armies in the
Yeah,
book.
they just put them in one book because, well,
Because it's a destruction army. So that's how this
who cares?
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NPC jobber faction.
Mm-hmm. So
Well, they did just release those pigs
yep.
and brand new Ard Boys, which look stellar to me. And the weird halfway between brutes and other ones who, rules wise, have some issues, but they look decently fighty enough. And Cruel Boys, how many things? They got a decent amount of things. First, I would need to separate them, and then I gotta think about it.
Yeah, let's do IJ first.
Ironjaw's historically is an incredibly tiny army. So
Sure.
we're talking before the pigs and stuff. You had like 2 battle line, or you had 2 like units, right?
Before the
feet?
expansion, you
You had
effectively had
Ard
3
Boys,
units.
brutes, and then pigs, right?
Correct.
You had 3.
Yep. And with the expansion, we got the 2 versions of the Ragers, like the Brute Ragers and the Weird Boys. And then we got the 3 versions of pigs, right? One of which is the hero, and then the other 2.
Right. So it's 5 units added, but really 2 boxes.
Yeah. Correct.
I could actually expand even yet more.
Yeah.
Is that out of pocket? I think I could expand more.
No, I think that's right.
We're making up for lost time over here. I mean, compared to Soulblight or Lumineth or Slaves or something, you know.
Yep.
You have a lot more orcs.
And I think that's right. I think that there's plenty of fertile ground they could explore there. Now, that being said, like my problem with doing stuff like the pigs, where it's like, oh, here's the pigs, and it's, you get 3 units. Okay, well, one of them's a hero, so whatever. And then you have these other 2, but they're both effectively functionally the same thing. I hate when they did this where they were like, it's 2 different big pigs that you can take as units. One has the guys on the side, and one doesn't. Okay, well, again, it's your exact point you said earlier of like, well, which one is better right now mathematically? Okay, that's the one we take.
Which one is good?
Period.
Yeah.
One is shelf,
it's
one
hard
is
not to
used.
fall into a trap with. Yeah, it's hard not to fall into a trap with Ironjaws of just making everything so much the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll get to it, I guess. That's more of a rules thing, really, not necessarily a models thing, but it kind of is a model thing too. Is that you have pigs and big pigs, and you have guys and big guys. And I know I'm oversimplifying, and you could almost say that about any army, but it's.
I mean, no, I think that's pretty accurate in this army.
It's like you're watching Avatar 1, and you're like, this is just Dances with Wolves. And then I tell you, a lot of plot lines are just like Dances of Wolves.
Yeah.
So whatever. And then you're like, well, this was the one where it was so obvious that even I noticed. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough.
You didn't notice it with Fern Gully because you were brought in by the incredible storytelling, so you didn't know.
Oh, but you were listening to the ooze or whatever. What's his name? Sing the song. What's the slime guy called? Toxidius or something? What was his name?
Something like that. Yeah.
That song is not for kids.
I mean, most animated stuff for that time period expected more of children. Yes.
Yeah. So it did expect more.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I think you could expand it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's there. Hexus. Mm-hmm. There you go. It's said in the comments.
Maybe more subjugation of beasts.
Right. And then, by the way, I honestly think you could do the same thing with Cruel Boys. I think it's different size expansions, but it's still the same story on both. A lot of people have said like something mounted for options. Like, and their problem's going to be, well, they can't ride horses or whatever because they would just eat them and they're in the swamp and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, you can't think of any other swamp-like creatures they might want to ride. Like, come on, we can do stuff. Okay. I think they're just both universally inexpanded. That's it. Right? Okay. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Generation X. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Get inside your panopticon that you're watching this stream from. Just do a 360 at the whole world. There's a reason we're nostalgic about some of those older stuff.
Look, Generation X, my generation. It was the last time culture moved. As like that's it. We had the last evolving culture. Since then, it's just been static. So
Yeah.
there you go. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It just is what it
Yeah,
is.
and moving forward, it's just going to be collages based on older stuff that some
Yeah.
AI robot's doing. It's
I
over.
can show you a single screenshot from a movie or a something. No, and I'm not talking about like film grain and looking at it. And you can say that's from the 90s, that's from the 80s, that's from the 70s. I can show you a single thing from like 2005 or 2016, and you will not be able to tell me the difference unless someone's holding an iPhone. That's it. Okay. So at any rate, let's keep going.
Separate but equal books, expansions for all.
Mm-hmm.
But a bigger expansion for Iron Jaws probably, because Cruel Boys is maybe a thing or two, you know.
Yes. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Let's see. What's up next? Cities of Sigmar.
Finish what you started.
Right.
Great work so far. Great work so far. I would have appreciated full melting pot, like mixed race units and stuff. That would have been kind of cool. But this is just not the direction they're interested in going, I guess, which is fine. Not everything has to be for me. But you did 1/3 of the job, and it was great. Do the other 2/3 now.
Mm-hmm.
All the elves and all the dwarves and all the cantina Star Wars races and aliens and realm beings and all that stuff in those cities.
Yep.
Good job on the humans. They look great. Although the Landsknecht was a complete, like, disastrous omission. What are you doing?
Sure.
Give us our two-hander guys in flamboyant outfits. The most iconic picture almost in all of fantasy, probably.
Yeah, all the covers I use, by the way, for these books are just like the good
cover.
covers. I refuse to use the new covers.
Yeah. There he is, not found in the game. Give us that guy back. We want that guy. Aside from that, though, yeah, and then do all the dwarves and elves and stuff. So this is probably going to end up being maybe ground up because it's all the elves and dwarves probably outnumber the humans. So maybe it's more than 50%.
I think it would still fall. I need to go look.
Reset to me implies something needs to be fixed. And I don't think you need to fix it. Just continue successfully doing your job.
Agreed.
Which you have been doing. Great work.
Yep. I agree. Like conceptually, they're refreshed. Whether or not the unit count's there, like I agree. Because we're not like, yeah. Okay, cool. Flesh Eater Courts.
How much am I an arbiter of fairness and how much am I looking down from the top of a skyscraper and whispering no like I'm in Watchmen? I'll do a hot take and we'll see what happens to the pan when you say what you want to do. Ground up reset.
Wow.
Strong. The only singular thing that's good here is the aesthetics, but not necessarily the pose of Bigoosh. Everything else looks dumb, stupid, in fact.
Okay. That's a spicy take. I get what you're coming. I get what you're saying.
It should be Elden Ring, the army, just purely rip it off. Everything else looks dumb and stupid and silly in a lame way in comparison. And so you have the centerpiece of your army that's like, wow, I want to play this. And then you look at every single other guy in their cartoons. And old. Or new and dumb looking cartoons. Not even the weird bat face, wiggly guys on mounts and stuff. This is like heavy personal preference here and not like good of the game stuff. Everywhere else I've been mostly good for the game. Here I'm being a little subjective.
Yeah, Cool says, why would you say something so controversial yet so brave? You know what? Here's the thing. I was originally going to be in no touch because I was thinking about them as they are. Some people look at the world as it is and they say, why? I look at the world as it could be and I say, why not? Or whatever. Isn't that the quote? Something like that, right? Okay. But I was looking at the world as it is. And you're looking at the world as it should be and asking why not, right?
And they're looking at the world as it is not, because that's the delusion, and we don't see
Mm-hmm.
really any of that.
It's a good
And
point.
I know their sculptors are good enough to really capture the delusion on a sculpt way, and
Yep.
instead they just put haggis around somebody's neck. Like,
You know what? You sold me. They're
or
going up
like
here in
they're
a ground
carrying a
up
bone or
reset.
whatever. Yeah.
Let's try again. I think I would
Like we could have a centerpiece where half of it is Arthas Menethil with glowing silver hair, and the other half of it is like decaying into a skeleton. Like you're watching in like a, you look at a Renaissance painting, and the more details you pick out are things you're supposed to notice later, so that it's
Sure.
kind of telling a story as you're looking at it. Right? That kind of thing with models, you could do something really good with it, and I think they're good enough to do it. And instead, it's intestines wrapped around a weird stick.
I think you keep like the executioner guy. I think he's good. I can't think of his name. Like whatever, the gore warden, the new judge, right? Obviously big oosh.
As the one joke guy, yeah.
So it's like, again, I would say it'd probably be, but like ghouls, crypt honkers, flayers, like all your mainline stuff. Just like redo a lot of it, right?
I'm so glad I started everyone on the crypt honkers thing. I'm so proud of.
Crypt honkers is there. I had somebody ask me during the show, we did the FEC review, what's a crypt honker? And I was like, okay.
Oh wait, it's
I love when you get so inside baseball with it. It's like it's like how all metal albums you need to write your
Japan
name
again. Like
with a metal album, they have to. The name of like the metal band has to be written in such illegible, insane text that like it acts as sort of a natural identifier. Like if somebody's like, oh, I love intestinal juices, right? Like, or whatever the name of the band is, you're like, oh, you can read that. Okay, you're cool. I know you're on the inside, right? All right. Anyways. Okay. Slaanesh. Hedonites of Slaanesh. I'll let me go with my controversial take on this. You ready?
Yeah, this is your thing.
Sure. From a model perspective, okay? Model perspective. They're no touchy. It's fine. There's like stuff that needs to be done. Again, down in no touch, you can still refresh a kit here or there, right?
Yeah, like demonettes. You could get some new demonettes eventually.
Correct.
Like it's
which is what you need, right? The big greater demons, the characters, the mask, the humans, Sinessa and Excessa, Glutos, like we can just keep going, right? Celeste, Sigvald, right? All of that crap looks great. Like if you like the mortal side, you're good. If you like the demon side, you're good looks wise, right? It's all there. It's a big enough army. It has lots of options. It just like the problem with the army has absolutely nothing to do with aesthetics and everything to do with rules. It belongs in no touch. Just refresh the daemonettes whenever a book comes out instead of adding another foot hero and you're good to go. Done. It's basically no touch. That's it.
Yep, agree.
Yep.
I'm not too big on the aesthetic of it, but that's just a personal preference thing.
Sure.
It's clearly well done. That's the difference, I think.
Yep.
A movie can be good or bad, and that doesn't necessarily mean you like it or not. Those are different things.
Absolutely.
I was going to say we need new daemonettes. Aside from that, we're good.
So. Right. Disciples of Tzeentch.
Oh, wait. Are all the chariots, are those still there?
I mean, they're still there, but I assume they're just getting jettisoned at some point. I assume those are just getting cut because they're terrible.
Yeah. Speaking of cut, ever tried to put one of those together?
What do you got for Disciples of Tzeentch for the old dot?
Oh, this is very, and I feel strongly about this, ground up reset.
I agree with you.
The only good model in the entire line is the summoner. What's his name from Silver Tower? The
Gaunt Summoner.
That's not,
yeah.
Gaunt Summoner, yeah.
Yeah. I would also say what's his name? The Changeling or whatever. The dude who's like, he's like got the arms on one side. He's a really cool model.
If he's the guy who has one, like, his arm is like whispering to him, Is that the guy you're talking about?
No, that's what's the name of that guy? Their names are so stupid. No, the changeling's to do with the big hood who impersonates other people. He has
Oh,
like little
no, that
floaty
guy's
things.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. There's two.
Yeah.
Everything else looks
like bubblegum that's been chewed up and spit back out and formed into a model.
yeah, or a Christmas cookie that's 2-dimensional and kind of has fire around it.
Right.
Just and the weird muscle guys with too much filigree and bird heads and stuff. This one is objective and subjective because I subjectively hate birds. I also
Got it.
don't think any of the models look good either. Just copy Pan's Labyrinth for the whole army. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And
you could
you found
probably,
some
like,
other stuff.
legitimately, you could probably keep, like, the Lord of Change, the Curseling, thank you, everybody, the Changeling, the Gaunt Summoner.
Gaunt Summoner. Maybe something else, like, who knows?
I'm sure there's, like, one or two more things, but, like,
yeah.
Pink Horrors, gone, get rid of them, fix those. Everything to do
Don't
with the
bring them
horrors in
back.
general, the Flaming Chariots, like, all of that
Don't
crap.
bring them back.
Flamers, Exalted Flamers, you know, like, it's all of that is so ready to be redone, right? Acolytes. Yeah, I agree. I think you could easily redo like 50% of the book and call it a day. It's probably
Ogre Thaumaturge is all right. Yeah, he's fine. Nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, he's a little static because he was originally made for like a board game, right?
Sure.
But sure, like he would be a great one to keep, but do a new model of that's actually cool, right? Like that like is a little more dynamic than he's like walking and looking slightly sideways, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Agreed. Sylvaneth, our tree people.
No touch.
Yep. It's no touch. It's no touchy.
Easy.
They got bug riders now. They got all this different crap. Again, it's a rules problem, not a model problem. They have a ton of different options. They've got their infantry, their heavy infantry. They got all this stuff. And then like at some point in time, just redo dryads. Again, it'd be just like it's the Daemonette argument, right? Like your basic dryads look like sticks you found in the yard glued together. Just fix them at some point in time.
Hey, and maybe don't have 16 in a box.
Right. Right. And figure out something to do with the woods that isn't making people who want to play Sylvaneth buying woods. Dumbest crap ever. Watch as I set up my very annoying terrain piece over and over again to make the little tips touch because we got to be tip touchers. And
can I say something brave? I don't like that terrain physically.
Yeah, I understand. It's terrible.
I don't like it.
It's awful.
It doesn't look good, and it's annoying to set up and move around without tipping it over. The old Wildwoods were bad as well for different reasons.
Mm-hmm. It would have been so easy to, again, just have them, if they want one of those annoying things, but they set it up before the game in their little area, fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
You can even pick up a terrain feature that starts out and replace it with that to start the game, okay? Maybe you can't place your wild, you can't fit it or something. You can maybe replace something on the table with it, fine, something like that.
Yep. And then from that point on, you just pick things and go, that's a woods now. It's overgrown. We literally almost were there. We got almost there in the last book, and then we're like, nah, too much.
Take a dowel and shave off about a 1/16 of an inch from the top of it and write wood and put it next to any terrain already on the table.
Right.
I'm a genius, by the way.
El Maestro with a super chat coming in saying, finally made a live show, just donating to support your channel. Your love for the hobby and the community is amazing. Thank you. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody who's super chatting, who's chatting, just keeping the conversation going. I love it. Tori said, how do you handle the centaurs that keep going in and out of the game, Vince? Kurnothi should be their own expansion army. That's an easy answer. Like there's a whole second army. You just call it Kurnothi. They're under like the spirit of Kurnoth or something like that, and you're good to go. Like there's enough story there. You could do a whole second thing. It's not hard. All right. Well, now that Haywo is gone, we'll just do ogres real quick. No problem there. I think we can all agree there. No touch. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. Haywo, I'm sure will be back in a moment. All right. Ba-boom.
Yeah, you were answering a chat question, and I went to get a drink.
Good call. You're perfect. You're great. I come pre-prepped. I got everything set up beside me, but I understand. Blades of Cornay.
I was wrestling with the government, so.
Absolutely. What do you think about the old Blades of Cornay?
Oh Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm trying to count in my head the number of things that should be refreshed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Every Bloodthirster for sure, and hopefully this time ones that don't look like they're on a swing set for children.
Yay.
Tap dancing.
Here we go.
The
Whee!
little goblins from Diablo 2 with mold lines the size of the Grand Canyon. We gotta redo those. Bloodletters. The aging cavalry.
Mm-hmm. Blood Crushers and Skull Crushers. Yep.
Yeah.
Like, is it a ground up reset?
I can't remember.
Probably not. Is it a
No.
near 50% refresh?
It's a near 50% refresh, and put a little oomph into this one.
Right.
You know, we're getting a little, as much as we say Blood Days of Corn, we actually are getting a little Blood Day with it. And
That's
I
right.
wouldn't mind not.
I think spiritually, it's a 49% refresh.
Yeah.
Right?
Mega refresh. This is the one so far that really is kind of like, if we were allowed to put things on the edge, we would.
But like, you've got the right idea with a lot of stuff. Like Skull Crushers, fine. Wrathmongers, even though they're kind of silly, fine. I get it. Some things should be a little silly, right? Stuff like that, yeah, all good. A lot of the Blood Warriors and Blood Reavers, yeah, fine, great, okay, good. G-Well with a super chat saying, question, if an army got redid from the ground up, but the rules made were completely lore friendly and fun in line with their fluff, etc., but sucked at competitiveness, would you be okay with that? 1000% yes. If they were fun?
Yes, with an asterisk. Yeah.
Yeah, you just said the rules were completely lore friendly and fun.
If they're fun, presupposes that you can actually play the game in some manner.
Right.
Right, because otherwise the asterisk is, it doesn't matter how cool and fun your rules are. If everything you do fails and you lose immediately and you didn't even really get to play at all, like there's a level of badness that even beer and pretzels cannot abide, right?
Sure. Yes.
And so competitiveness, whatever. I don't know, man. When Beastclaw Raiders were competitively the worst, they were the most fun to play.
Right.
For me.
This was Skaven for me for a long time, right? Where it was like they were just garbage.
This was a period of time where there weren't battle tactics or anything. It was just scoring. And we captured one with our monsters. And the monsters are 300-400 points each. And so we could capture a total of 6 probably with an entire army. And so you always basically lost every game. But they made your units overpowered. That was the balancing factor.
Right.
Stonehorns were legitimately overpowered. Thundertusks, legitimately overpowered. It's just you always lost on points because the game didn't, but they made them good enough that it was fun to play, although you still lost.
Right.
And so that exact question happened to me, and it was awesome. So yeah, that's cool. I don't care what their tournament percentage is, as long as they're like, I get to play the game with them instead of just nothing works and everything dies, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's where I want the game to go back to. Or forward to, but towards that direction. You know, whatever you want to explain it.
Yeah.
Which way, Western man? Homogeneous goop, 50% win rate, or fun?
Yep. All right, we're getting down to the end. Okay, here we go. Caradron Overlords.
Ground up reason. Oh no, wait, we're not on rules. Sorry, jumped the gun there. Definitely expand.
Agreed. It's easy. There's so much more.
The most recent expansion they got was completely wrong.
Yep.
Just the totally wrong direction.
Agreed.
They got the exact same thing that they already had, except slightly different, but not really. That won't change anything.
Except they were just better. So then they all of a sudden jumped to like, not forget those old things. Now it's just 80% of people are using these new things because they're the good things. right?
Do not
So
put us on the treadmill, Games Workshop. I beg you. Please don't do that.
Yep.
You can do that in a video game and people still rightly complain about it. And you can do it in a card game and people rightly complain about it. But in a game where you have to buy your models, $75, and then spend a month painting them, and then they sit on your shelf for the next 3 years, 4 years, 7 years. Don't do that to us. That's not the type of game this should be.
Yep. Yes, Russ, we did
Please.
Cruel Boys. They're here under Auric Warclans and Expand. Absolutely. Expand, or yeah, they're technically in the Expand side, not on the Refresh side.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do some really cool things with them. I wanted the big, what are the big daddies from BioShock kind of thing? You could do that. You could make all sorts of contraptions or giant aircraft carriers or whatever. There's so many. There's almost as many good ideas for KO expanding as there is IDK. You could think of a million, right? So just let them do something creative.
Yep.
Only thing is, don't just make the same balloon guys except a little different.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
But
Lich
just
Finder,
don't do
we
the
are
one
doing.
thing that you did.
Right now we are talking only models. We're going to talk rules in just a moment. All right. Daughters of Cain. Doc. All right. I'll give you an I'll give you an answer.
Save me. Save me from this.
You're fine. Daughters of Cain goes in no touch. That's my argument. My argument is simple. You've got witches. They're all still fine. They look good. They're dynamic models. You got snakes. They're all fine. You got the cool chariots. Maybe those get refreshed at some point in time. That's fine. You know, like just like that unit, right? The big walking statue is dope. You got Doomfire Warlocks dope. I mean, like there's Canary, cool. Like all your mainline units are good. Okay. And for the most part, they communicate what they look like. Like they're pretty good. Could they be refreshed? Could some of that stuff be brought into a more modern design? Yes. Are they one of the ones that really needs it? No. I think they still look good. Like from pure model perspective, yeah, like over time you could give them another kit or two. We could refresh a thing or two, but they're down there in the like sub 10% needs to be done. The avatar looks stupid, whatever. But like most of their models are pretty good, right? Again, it's not that like, yes, Doomfires and the avatar are stupid. I agree. Okay. But all right.
Doc is so weird because to me it's either ground up reset or no touch. It was never a consideration for expand or refresh.
Sure.
There's no middle ground. I'm kind of thinking of what could be. They're kind of like no, they're not really like Flesh Eater Courts. That's unfair. Yeah. Look at all this work we have to do on this tier list so far. Doc are fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, really, when you compare them to a lot of the other armies we've talked about expanding or refreshing, they're not in that place. They have enough units. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Maggot Kid of Nurgle. Old Nurgle.
Old Nurgle. Well, they desperately need some refreshes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the what are those Lego snot creatures? What are they called?
Are you talking about their God, now it went straight out of my head. Like I was literally about to say it, and then you asked the question, you said the Lego joke, and it knocked the word out of my head. Are you talking about like their base troops, the little Nurglings? Like what do you okay. Got it.
Yeah, the base troops. The base demon troops.
Yes. I mean, like all the base demons in the game at this point are basically crap. Right?
Yeah, that's true. Across all the demon armies, actually. Yeah, they are ancient. Maybe that's because they're shared between two games. And they're not.
Yeah, and they came out in like 2006.
Yeah.
That was when they last refreshed all the demons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my answer is this is a pretty decently sized army right now. Like they have multiple different types of like air
flying
cav,
cavalry, flying guide cav, big body troops, little body troops, piles of Funko Pop figures on a base. Big Guo, special different Guo, giant, completely demon guy, technically immortal for some reason from the end times, that guy.
Yep.
The not looking great anymore, mounted Maggot Lords, Orgott's Daemon Spew.
Morbidex and his kin, yes.
Morbidex Twiceborn, and the guy whose name I always forget was the third one.
I mean, here's the thing, what I'll
Yeah,
say. They're on the list of
plenty
like
of
little
refresh.
images that we saw, right? And I think my argument is they fall in refresh. There's enough units
I think so
here
too.
that, like, yes, you could have like Pestigores or something. That'd be fine. I know a lot of people called for them. I'm not against that kind of a concept. Frankly, you could just like.
I'm against it. What's
Sure.
a gore? What's that?
Well, we got
like an old
Zangors
world
and we
thing
got
to
the
me.
Slangors still. We just might as well just keep going that. The Beast of Chaos got subsumed into the other parts of Chaos is what I'm assuming. The diaspora.
I just really don't think that's it just doesn't hook me. The idea of a gore, just as a thought. Like, here's a kind of a goat person, and then all four gods have their own different color of them. I don't find that very enthralling.
I think
Am
it's
I being
like
a stick in the mud here?
Yeah, no, I think it's like hipster hot dogs or pizza. Okay. What I mean by that is like you're not going to get the cheese pizza anymore. That's gone. But pizza as a concept, you can get all sorts of like high end takes on it, or a burger maybe. Like the idea that you do like like everybody you get the hipster takes on the thing. This is my. I've got like your burger now has to have like an egg and some crumbles, some blue cheese crumbles, and like 2 slices of thick cut maple honey bacon or something. You know, like there's 16 other things on your burger. You're not just getting like meat, cheese, bread. That's not happening anymore, right? The regular gore that doesn't exist. It's all just it's all the blue cheese crumble gore. That's all that you get anymore. But at any rate, I think there's enough here to refresh is my point. Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think so too.
I think it's one of the more minor refreshes, but I think there's enough there to do it. Okay. All right. I happen to leave 2 armies plus I'll leave this one for last, but here we go. I'll pick mine next. Skaven. Big book. Lot of units. I would love to see more. I want to see more. Everything in my being wants to put this and expand it. Okay? Everything. All of my soul. Because there's so much more fertile ground to explore here. Of like cooler Scryer units. A lot more stuff out of Eshin. What are we doing? What are we doing with that? What are we doing with this
sort of stuff out of Eshin at all?
Right. Okay. Like everything in my soul says, give me more. Give me more monsters out of like Clan Molder. What other insane creations can they make? Can we get the whole line of ninja rats? Right? Can I get more awesome war machines? Can I get like a Skaven tank? You know, like there's a million things. Like I could write you 50 more units right now for this book. Like easy money. Okay.
Even the Screaming Bell is so old.
It's so old.
It's so iconic, and it looks like the idea of it is so cool and the imagery, but it's like someone built a gingerbread house at Christmas. Like, it kind of looks like that.
And my argument, like as much as my soul wants that, the reality is they belong in No Touch. That's where they belong. We just have to, and then like when the next book comes out, just give us the refreshed Night Runners. That's the unit. That's my Daemonette's equivalent, right? That's your awful unit that's still there. And like over time, you can just accrete those other units to the army. That's it. We don't need them immediately. It's not an emergency. We got a whole refresh. Most of it's really great. Just let a bunch fall in. And there you go.
Yeah, with a heavy heart, we act responsibly and put it in No Touch.
We said we'd be as fair as we can, and I think that is the fairest I can. Again, if you put me in charge of GW tomorrow, Skaven Wave 2 is happening. I will shove
Oh,
this down the consumer's throat. Okay. My reign will be short and violent and full of rats. That is my campaign promise. Okay, but acting as a neutral arbiter, there we go.
Some sort of Pertinax reign.
Yes, exactly. All right. You knew they were coming. We saved the biggest for lastest. Ogres, ogre maw tribes, the whole line. Is this not the clearest and most obvious case of ground up reset that has ever been ground up reset? This is it.
Yeah, they're just an entire army from Warhammer Fantasy Battle that happens to be in AOS. That's it. Like that's what the whole army is. I mean, we got like a hunter and then yet another hunter for some reason after that hunter. You know, they're two different terrain features. You know, there's been some releases in AOS for them. I'm not saying there haven't, but for the most part, I think you're gonna have to help me with Skaven. Is Ogres the last army featuring Finecast in Age of Sigmar?
I think that is accurate. Yes, I'm trying to think of any example. There might be a weird Zinch old unit hanging out, but I'm going to say yes for the most part. I think the answer is yes.
Games Workshop can't be a Finecast company anymore. We can't do that in this year. In current year, we got to be plastic, at least. And like a third of the army is Finecast. This is a lot. Yetis are Finecast. The Sabers are Finecast. Maneaters are Finecast. The Alternative Tyrants are Finecast. The Butcher is Finecast. The Slaughtermaster is Finecast.
Tragedy.
Yeah, just ground up reset. It's supposedly what they're doing. Good. Just I don't know. We're far past the point of any sort of suggestions happening. I'll issue some hopium. Really, Age of Sigmarify them.
Yep.
You know,
go
something
nuts.
Else in there. Just like how Fire Slayers need a new concept because the one singular thing they are multiplied by the whole army is too one note. Ha ha fart fat guy is you can't. That's too little. You have to do something else on top of that.
Yep.
Make them really cool and interesting.
I would love to see them push the aesthetics around and have different units have really different aesthetics. Like we got the ogre who ate dead things that was like in Curse City. He was like much more lean, right? But like top heavy, muscular, had like the more classic kind of like bodybuilder type of build, right? And like I would love to see them lean into different aesthetics for the different units. Like have some traditional like real serious gut plate, you know, big ogres like that. I would love to see the BCR have a completely different looking aesthetic. Like they're not just the same ogres put up on top. They're bigger. They're stronger, right? They should look like meaner, more feral. I'm not saying you make them look like Yetis, but I mean like they should look rougher. They live on the edge of a perpetual cold winter. They beat, you know, these massive creatures into submission. They should look.
They beat evolution.
Yeah. They should look scarier than like a normal ogre just set up on top of the big guy. Right? So that kind of thing. Okay. Agreed.
Yeah, and however much they do, I will have wished they did more. No matter what. Calling it now.
Yep.
But I'm pleased because it might not have been this. I felt, to me, it was like a 50-50 actual coin flip. Whether we get you're out of here, you know, or refreshed.
Yep.
I thought that it was pretty close to 50-50. And we at least got the one where we stayed in the game.
Which is great. Last up.
I did my part. Half of the ogre players in the world were inspired to get the army because of me.
The Hellsmiths. They're an army.
That's
They're brand
a joke.
New. What are we doing with the Hellsmiths?
Hellsmiths of Hashish.
I think they're a very functional army right now. And here's my answer. They should be expanded. They're still relatively small. Yeah. There's a lot of space.
I would give them. Yeah, you can do that.
Yep.
Especially once you take out the Hobgrots.
Right. We're jettisoning them into the sun. Yeah, correct.
I mean, you could use radiation therapy. There's a lot of stuff, but you got to get that growth out of there. It's not benign. It spread to, Cruel Boys had it, and it spread to Hellsmiths. We got to get this out of here.
Yep.
They're
I think
like
it would be like a
Noblars, just
wave
get 'em out.
2. You'd have like a death train type of artillery piece, bigger,
We need
crazier
the death
artilleries.
train.
You'd have a
You're
Lamasu.
entirely right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just very obvious
We
expansion
have
territory.
to have the death. Every time this gets put up, it's like, should we add more? Is there the death train? Yes, no.
Right.
If no, put it in.
Yep.
Modern sculptors could be so cool with a Doom train.
I
It'd be
know,
sick.
right?
Let them play. Let the children play with their sculpting tools.
That's right. M-San says Lamasu trains and elite infantry. Sure. Yep. Great. Absolutely. Easy. Okay. Have a good one, Martin. Well, we're about to go to rules right now. All right. And that's all the armies for models. Now we're going to do the rules. And the way we're going to do the rules. So there you go. That is canon. This is what should be done. Yeah, we're going to lightning round it. But like, it'll be easy. Because the models are really the part that was where we needed to really think it through. Right? And have like this big, oh my God, Chris H. Cogfort versus Train could be an amazing box set. Yes. See, if we were still doing cool stuff, this is what we'd be doing.
If we were still cool like that.
If you weren't GW, if you're still somehow watching this, if you weren't cowards, you would make the Cogfort versus Hell Train box set. Yes, correct. Okay. Rules, I think, are going to be very simple. So here we go. Ready? 3 categories in rules, like always. You never need more than 3. Everything is triage in life. The rule of 3s.
Yeah.
Number 1, back to 0. Back to 0 means you completely got it wrong. Start again. You done messed up, AA Ron. Forget it. Terrible. Awful. Fail. F.
Yeah, the end.
Incorrect. Okay.
Is that a reference to the final chapter of Metal Gear 4, Back to 0?
It is not, but I didn't know that that's a thing. I've never played a Metal Gear game in my life.
Video Code Genius, anyway.
Gotcha. All I know about Metal Gear comes from the memes that I watch on your channel, where the senator full of the little tiny robots, nanobots.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like I made it up. That's all I know about it. That's from Metal Gear, right?
Nanomachine's son. Yeah, it's a spin-off game that was miraculously hilarious. Anyway, so Tilt, is this like a pinball?
Yes, tilt means like you got a bunch of stuff right, but what happens when it tilts? You got to do a little reset, right? You got to hit the button on the pinball machine and kind of reset it. The ball goes back. So what that means is like, that doesn't mean you got to take the pinball machine apart. Like something's broken. You get what I'm saying? Like when the pinball machine goes into tilt, something has gone wrong. It's broke, but it's okay. You don't need to call in a repair person. We anticipated this would happen. We just need to tweak it a little and everything will be fine. You'll be playing the game again, right? Okay. So that's tilt. Okay. And then lastly is just nailed it. Nailed it's easy. Nailed it is, you did that. Congratulations. You nailed it. Now, in Back to 0, that means like, it doesn't mean every war scroll literally needs to be completely reset. Some of them could still be okay, right? But it means like, again, more than 50% of the rules, you just got to start over. And mostly like your army rules are wrong, that kind of thing. And in nailed it, it doesn't mean like literally everything is perfect, A plus 100%. Yeah. There could still be minor changes. Okay.
Are we doing, can I turn this tier list into a Venn diagram where the circle encompasses all 3 tiers? And the circle is triple or quadruple, all options.
Yes.
Everything. Just, we are at, I'm not kidding, 20% of the interesting, fun options, rules, ideas, flavor, everything like that.
Laying over top of this is the thing that Halo and I agree with.
Completely wrong.
Yep. Yeah. Way more. Like in the search for simplicity, we have stripped the goodness out of the game. We need more options, more wackiness, more magic items, heroic traits, options, build choices, unique things, crazier army rules, stuff. War scrolls need abilities. Maybe some normal scrolls that are just meant to be simple infantry, they stay kind of how they are. But the second you go up into bigger, expensive, more rare stuff, they should be having lots of cool abilities. Period. SJ Arcade, good old SJ with a super chat saying, if Korn isn't back to 0, I'll eat my Korgorath. Well, I make no promises, SJ.
No.
Get your dentures ready.
So yeah, that's what we need for everything. And what they've done is instead of the 3 options that we gave you, 2 of which are entirely useless and 1 is good, we noticed that the take rate on the only useful one is really high, so we're going to make it cost 20 points. We are going in the exact wrong way.
Yep. All right. Basically, what we'll do here is we'll pull them in. We'll have a little bit of discussion, like very quick, just like if they go here, here's why, a couple sentences, and then we'll move them. Let's grip it and rip it. Here we go. Start with the newest first this time. I'm going to grab the Hellsmiths. Honestly, nailed it. Like their overall army rule is stupid of demonic power points, but it's functional. It's just silly. The war scrolls are amazing. Everybody has roles. It's like they power pair up well. Good job.
They remind me of OBR when they came out.
Yep.
I hope the same thing does not happen to them. I would put them in high tilt, because of those things you said. But nailed it is fair.
Sons of Badmot.
Back to 0.
Back to 0.
Maybe the poster child for it.
Yep.
Next to Slash, probably.
Completely wrong.
I don't even mean back to like -1, maybe even.
Yeah. Like Lichfinder General, I agree, by the way, on the Hellsmiths. If you take the first and last pages out of the Hellsmiths book, it's like the best book they've ever written. It's almost perfect. That's it. Okay. Yeah, Sons is terrible. Just god awful. Stormcast.
Tilt or nailed it. 1 of the 2.
Yeah, tilt. I think they're probably in tilt, honestly. Like it's close. It's close, but they're tilt.
It's closer than they've been in the past.
Yep.
I think they play better now than they have most of the times, even.
The Reclusians was a good step.
Yeah,
but we've still got like too much just nonsense going on in there, right?
Yeah.
So they're just not quite there. Again, it's not broken. It's not bad. Tilt just means we got to do a little. We got to hit the button on the side. I've got a pinball machine like literally right there on the other side of my wall down here.
Oh, which one?
It is no brand name one. It is from the 1960s. It's awesome. It's an old casino pinball machine that's about like poker. And my grandfather picked it up years and years and years ago, and it came down to me. It's awesome. You're like trying to build little like royal flushes and stuff on the pinball machine. It's very cool. Yeah, it's like super classic.
Antique Roadshow.
Yeah, it's super classic. So, there you go. I love pinball. Okay. So, anyways, next up, Blades of Corn. Well, SJ demanded it. Let's give it.
I don't think he's wrong. The only thing you keep is the concept of Blood Tithe, but back to 0.
Yep. I agree. SJ, you were right. It is. Like, Blood Tithe is perfect. That little section we're going to take out, frame, gold plate, just put it in a slab, 10.0, you're good. Okay? And then everything else we put in the shredder. So, yes.
And, like, fundamentally rethinking about what even the army is like. You know, are they glass cannons? How fast are they exactly? Are they supposed to be meat grinders? Are they supposed to, is the brass thing, are they supposed to be really defensive or not? Should the demon and human divide be so harsh? Really like rethinking a lot of it. They clearly should probably do a ton of damage. Just thematically.
Yep.
And Blood Tithe behooves you to either kill or be killed, which does push you in a little bit of a glass cannon angle if you want to let it. Basically everything else.
I would actually be perfectly fine if they weren't like the damage army, if they were like the attack army, if that makes sense, right? Like if
the glory is in attacking, not necessarily.
Yeah, like they just had lots of attacks. It'd be neat if they were like pretty human damage, you know, like just like that to say a lot of like damage one, but had a ton of rend and a ton of attacks, right? Or something like that kind of thing. Or like we're really good at fighting. Like they were all, you got like an army of like 3s and 2s or some crap like that. There's lots of ways you could take it sort of like mathematically that would work, and that's all fine. I mean, sure, Bloodthirsters hit like Mack trucks. Like I'm not, of course, but like I'm saying for their bulk dudes. Okay.
Scarbrand should be fun.
Yes, Scarbrand should be fun. Yeah, I mean that's just it.
Remember
Okay.
when Scarbrand was fun? Do that, but for the whole army.
Yeah, you had him like perfect, and then you decided to ruin it. It's so shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Tzeentch. Disciples of Tzeentch.
I kind of like the Destiny Dice idea. I think I'm a little taken by the idea of their rules being overtly cheating at the game as a fourth wall thing.
Right. Yeah.
I actually like that. And I don't know that I like anything else. I hate the whole horror thing and the foam and the whatever their weird flame rule thing is now. Instead of casting spells, they have a ranged attack instead of making them all wizards. I think it's like almost back to zero. Keep Destiny Dice and the idea of cheating at the game. Make them all wizards again. Give them just spells again instead of changing it to a ranged weapon. You got a lot of problems to fix there, I think.
I'm with you.
Really, really low tilt or high back to zero.
Nah, I'm going back to zero. I agree. I'm with you.
And the only time they've ever been good, they've been the most frustrating army to play against in the universe.
SJ Arcade says fifth book's the charm. Yeah, I mean that's just it. When we say back to zero, you can keep a couple of the really good things. Yes, like Destiny Dice and the idea that you're a magic casty army, correct. Now try again other than that. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Almost always there's some kernel of a really good theme idea, and then the extrapolation of that, or maybe the iteration on that, just kind of went awry, and then so.
Yep. Maggotkin of Nurgle.
Are we still doing disease dice?
I mean, what we're doing now is just, disease. Like you're diseased and you take mortal damage. Like that's the way it works now, right? So, I mean, the concept of disease is fine. It's had 7 different, you've had like 7 different executions on that concept, but it's clear that's sort of the thing, right?
So the idea of damage over time, the idea of a disease or a poison or a curse or whatever, like
right. And I think in general, the army's like high health, attritive, tough, hard to kill,
slow, durable, death by 1,000 cuts.
Let me make an argument. They're on tilt. That's where they actually are. They're extremely coherent. Their rules are nice. The addition under them makes them feel like back to zero.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Right?
I was tempted to go back to zero, but I'll put them in tilt then. Yeah.
Yeah, like I think it's really tilt.
We got to really change some stuff. Yeah.
Yes. We're going to have to get there and actually make this work with the addition, but it's not like the rules conceptually are almost in the right place. Like thematically, everything's doing what it should be. It just doesn't actually work in the current edition.
Yeah.
We got to adjust for that.
It's like Beastclaw capturing 1 in first or whatever. Like it's just, you're fun, but you're kind of in the wrong edition maybe.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Gloomspite gets
back to zero.
Yep. It's just not even a discussion. Like, try again.
And literally every one of their sub-armies should also be back to zero, actually.
Yes.
Except maybe Trogs. But even still, I would almost do Trogs.
Trogs and Squigs over time have been the closest to correct over the past, 2 editions. Right? Yeah. All right.
They have been way too powerful briefly.
Sure.
But I don't think they ever got their rules right in a fun way.
I agree.
They made them strong once. It's like Slaanesh. Slaanesh was crazy strong once. Never got the rules quite right though.
Even then the rules weren't correct. They just happened to be really strong in a time when they did it was exactly what we're talking about. Like they did high mortal damage and no one could stop them, right? There wasn't big horde armies weren't popular. There was no ascendant horde armies. There was no shooting armies. So there was no one to stop them. right? Everything was like small elite things they could cleave up. So, okay. Soulblight Gravelords. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, it's nailed it, right? Like they
Yeah, I
feel
think they're
quite
good.
correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Obviously, there's stuff you would change, but it's all just
of course.
nitpick stuff. Like, you got to have a normal Velocita that you can build instead of just being a named guy.
Yep.
You got to decide between skeletons and zombies. And
Make them both
you could
actually useful. You could do
make them
that. It's
both actually
possible.
useful and not just swap back and forth to try to scam your players into buying 2 of the same units that are take turns being good every 2 years or whatever. Like, just
Right.
the zombies always do something like this, and the skeletons always do something like that, and then pick a side, you know.
Yep.
But that's for Age of Sigmar anyway. That's still nailed it.
Agreed. IDK. I mean, the answer here has got to be tilt, right?
I actually think back to 0.
Wow. You want to
I
strip
think
it
this
all the way
army
down.
is. I think this army is brutally unfun to play.
Okay.
As. But this is, I don't know, maybe I'm getting personal with it because I played them in second a little bit.
Sure.
And that's when they were brutally unfun to play against.
Sure.
They had a very zero-sum fun play style. If you remember those shipwrecks in deployment zones and triple deep strikes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got rid of High Tide and the army still isn't fun to play, reset. Push the reset button on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I mean, all the people talking about how they just end up being a spam army over and over again, that makes me think you're right. I think it is back
That's
to
what
0.
it is. You just look for the fastest, do the math on the fastest guys and spam that. Oh, they got nerfed? Okay. Now we switch to sharks.
Exactly.
1 month later, back to eels.
Yep. Hades asked if you still have your IDK models.
Yeah, they're on the table back here. I was thinking about trying to sell them, but then I'd have to talk to someone or do anything.
Sure. That seems like work.
Mhm.
Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
Back to not 0 though. Back to what they were in 3rd edition, which was fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had another classic example of where you had it right.
You did it.
Just
you
change for change's
it.
sake, you ruined it. Yes.
Yeah. Well, not even that. Their rules were a preview of how 3rd edition was going to be.
Yep.
Their whole shtick was RDP, which is how commands ended up working for everyone. And they pioneered the little dude inside the squad acts like a hero for commands. Like, nobody else had that.
Yep.
And they pulled the rug out from under them, made the entire game like that, and gave them nothing in return. And it used to be that it was the army where you finally didn't need the hero babysit everything because their unit champions were special. And now they're hero babysit the army, just like everyone else. Go back. We need to return to monkey on this one.
Yes. Reject modernity. Embrace the classics. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Flesh Eater Courts. So I'm going to make an argument here that with the new book, we're basically nailed it. I think the way the delusions work now is actually really fun. I think a lot of the rules, again, this is all assuming we had more options, blah, blah, blah. Like that sits over everything like a giant circle.
Yeah.
I think that the way the delusions work is actually the best they've ever captured it. Like I've played against this army a couple times now. It's really fun to watch them like shift through the delusions, sometimes against their own desire, right? Like they don't always have full control over it, which feels good, but you can like, but you're sort of in control. You're like riding this wave, right, of delusion, which feels very apropos. The models feel like they've got good individual stuff they're trying to do, and like, yeah, I think again they're basically in the right place. Is there would I literally change nothing? No, of course I'd change stuff. There's stuff that they could.
No, everything in Nailed It is assuming we're quadrupling all the options.
Yeah.
Every battle zone.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Basically, a B+ is nailed it. Okay, so you got to hit like a
grade on
88 to
curve,
90%.
okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Seraphon.
I don't know too much about this army. Well, I kind of do, but it's back to 0 for me.
I'm trying to decide between back to zero and tilt.
Yeah, it's kind of on the edge.
Yeah, this army is so problematic because it's been so much of a thorn in the side of AOS throughout a lot of its history. Okay.
Every time they're
And
given anything even remotely cool, they ruin the game.
right. But then now what they did with the current one is
Meta-wise.
they stripped like everything that was interesting out. Like it used to be way too complex and you made way too many choices, even for that army. Like even in the world I want to live in, they were doing too much. Okay.
Yeah.
Like they were just it hurt. He was like, you had a super choice and then a secondary choice and then a sub faction and then this. And it was just like, oh my God, what is happening here? Right. It was like, that's the difference between options and stacking. Right. And there is a difference.
Yeah.
Okay. And
options, no matter how many options you have, you still end up with one thing because it's either or.
Yes.
But when you're stacking, now we got everything. I think it's really high back to zero.
Yeah, I got to agree. Given their current state, I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right. S2D.
Pretty close to nailed it.
I think so. I'm gonna make it. Let me throw something at you.
I could be argued down to tilt though, because there are some issues with it.
I think it's an amazing book. I think it's so good, but it has this vestigial dark oath part that still doesn't know what it's doing. We talked about that problem up in the models. Okay, does that put it in tilt?
I'm so sorry. I forgot. I forgot they got rid of the fun chart. They ruined the fun chart.
Well, I mean, you get to become a hero now. You get to do your little RPG quest still, which is fun. That's what they switched it for. Now you do a different fun thing. And they actually, with soggy rules, it's actually really fun now. Like, it's legitimately hilariously fun. Yes, the Eye of the Gods was an amazing chart. I agree.
Yeah, that's what the Eye of the Gods is what I'm talking about. Yeah, that was fun. Tilt.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. It's tilt. That's us. Like, there's so much of that book that's right, but it's in tilt.
Yeah.
Okay. Caradron Overlords.
Or back to index instead of back to zero.
Right.
Caradron Overlords?
Yeah.
Back to zero.
Yep. Still haven't.
Which they have done every edition.
Yep. We keep trying. They to
their
credit, they do this too.
Every time. And they were right to keep going back to zero. They didn't end up in the right place, but they were right to do it.
Right.
And once again, we have done this 4 times and we have become quite good at it.
Yes, exactly.
Quoted. Do it again.
You believe this is the first incarnation of the Caradron Overlords that you're living through right now. But it is not.
Turn on the screen and it's
it's just
the drill bees.
Vis-a-vis, therefore, vis-a-vis. All I think of with that bit is not the original thing from the Matrix. It's the Will Ferrell like bit of it from the movie awards. That was one of the best sort of parodies they ever did. Okay. Anyways, look it up. It's great. Let's keep
also,
going.
by the way,
yes.
10 guys just hoofing it, pumping their little dwarven arms, running next to a ship, pretending to be on the ship like that. That was wrong. That's dumb.
That is dumb.
I fully understand the idea that you want your models on the table when you play the game. And that if you have ships and then just putting your squad off the table, that feels bad. I get it. But little tiny dwarves just running next to a ship, and then the ship moves and it's too dumb.
Yep.
Don't like it, no sir.
All right. Let's see. Who are we grabbing next here? Oh no, here we'll do this one. Okay. Stupid mouse. Ah. There we go. Okay. Nighthaunt. I'm going to make a controversial statement.
Okay.
I think Nighthaunt are actually in tilt. Their current book is one of the worst books they've ever had. But let me say why they're actually in tilt. Okay.
Okay.
Because conceptually, they got to almost the right space. They just forgot that armies have to actually do damage.
Yeah, which is a problem they have previously forgot.
Right.
A few times. What are they supposed to do? All right. Like, what is we defined what Nurgle does in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is slow anvil, kill you by inches, you know, that kind of thing. What does Night Hunt do? They medium fast, but it fly. Ignore a whole bunch of rules.
Yep.
Bad damage. Weird foot heroes that aren't good. Capturing? Question mark? Like blobs
yeah, exactly.
of
I think the
blobs of
answer
flame
should be
stuff?
like I think the answer of them is like an interesting like mobility anvil could work, but like you've got to get rid of all these 3-ups. You've got to make them actually have some units that can do damage, right? And that's what it's missing right now. Like their rules are way too finicky. Everything's on the 3-up on a D3, you know, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about, like the dumb 2-up,
I
the
think
D3 2-up.
if capture score mattered at all, maybe they are supposed to lean towards more capturing stuff than exactly killing it.
Right.
But that doesn't work in this edition. So are they like Nurgle, where they're right for the wrong edition?
I think
can't
that's what
of
it
an
is.
edition
Yes.
where they would be right for, though.
I think it's kind of like Nurgle, where they've got the right idea, they just didn't execute on it. That would be my argument, right?
Who would want to ever play an army that does bad damage?
I mean, there are people who like that kind of crap. I mean, I do know people who love like Tom loves that kind of crap.
Psychographic profile is the person who can replace that with something else.
Yeah,
it's the immovable object instead.
Yep, exactly.
You just don't care about damage. Like, that's the thing. Oh, I do bad damage. Well, play in such a way so that my damage doesn't matter at all.
Right.
You just can't. But maybe they're supposed to. They're supposed to be really tricky, I think, or historically they have been. Be that as it may, either very, very, very low tilt or high back to 0. Very low tilt, we'll say. You got to change a lot to make this work.
I agree, but I think it's still in tilt.
Not everything.
I think conceptually, again, I think it's enough. It's one of those like 49%, right? There you go. Okay. Lumineth. That's a tricky one, right?
Yeah, because they work very well, but I still think back to 0.
You want to completely redesign them? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
I want to completely redesign them, I think.
Okay. Let's do it.
I think
I'm not against that.
Every unit should be a wizard again. They're the Tzeentch of order. Kind of the make every unit a wizard thing. Apparently we just can't escape from Sentinels. We got to start over.
Sure.
Every edition, it's just like, oh yeah, they start here and then they go up forever, and they think it's the problem, but maybe it isn't even the problem. Aether Quartz stuff and lightning double activate and things like that. Every single time they make the foxes, they make them broken in the same way, and then they're like, oh wait, we can't let people do that, so then they change how many times do we have to learn this lesson, old man? I don't know. I think maybe come up with something new.
I'm with that.
I don't think they've just never really been fun to play against, and there's a lot of problems fun-wise playing with them as well, even. They've been really strong here and there. Who cares? They're just really annoying to play, I think.
That's fair. Hades says back to 0, more like back to second. Very nice. David Canty's got a good point. Hardest disagree. I don't want to spend half the game in your damn hero phase as every unit casts a spell. Like, that's a fair point. But like, I do, what I'm going to come down and go with Halo is like, I do think back to 0, we need to reconceptualize like, what is this army supposed to actually be doing? Because so many of the units just feel like they're wrong right now.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know that everybody needs to become a wizard, but we need something.
Yeah, I just threw that out there. I'm not married to the idea. I'm just thinking like, when you're getting to a point where it's like you can only take this unit if you take one of these other units, and they're both like troops. What are we doing? Is that like a balancing factor? I don't know. Yeah. Hey.
Yep.
All right. This might be a controversial one, but that's how I feel about that one.
No, I'm with it. Okay. Cities of Sigmar. Tilt. It's tilt. And
It's not
what's
back
wrong
to
is that we
zero.
didn't
It's
integrate things well enough. We still have too much like weird humany, caring about what the species is of the races, whatever you want to say, of the thing. Like, just get them fully integrated, get them to be cities. Like, the orders idea is good. You got plenty of good war scrolls and units in there. Like, it's tilt. It's not broken. It's not
Mhm.
doesn't need a complete reset. You're in the right space. You're just you
Look at
missed.
how cool the model is and then write rules.
Right. Yeah. It's fine.
Like, look at those, the horse guys are so cool.
Just
And you're
make their
looking at
rules
them, you're like,
actually
"Oh,
match anything like that.
they fight like
Um
grots."
Orc War Clans. Once again, we have two discussions here, right?
Back to 2 different books?
Yeah, like other than split these into two actual
Yeah.
books, right? Um,
Cruel
I'm gonna.
Boys are closer than ever.
Yep.
Maybe either back to the index or closer than any other destruction army. They're actually pretty close.
Yep.
I'd still probably put him tilt, but like very high tilt.
Agreed.
Iron Jaws, you know a lot more than I.
My honest answer on Iron Jaws is it's somewhat like Nurgle. They're like the highest end of tilt. I know, David Canty, you wanna go. I understand why you said back to zero, but I don't think that's right. I think that like we had rules that were correct. We got rid of a few of them. Like, the honest answer here is the addition changed underneath them to some degree. I think Iron Jaws are like the worst possible tilt, and Cruel Boys are like the best possible tilt, if that makes sense, right?
Okay. Top of, bottom of.
Top of, bottom of. Yeah, yeah. Now, I think with Iron Jaws, you do have more work to do. Again, it's probably one of these like 49 percenters. It's close, but I don't honestly think we need to go back to zero. Like, Brutes in a pretty good place. Ard Boys feel like they do what they should. Pigs, okay, that needs a little heavier work, like the little pigs, right? Big pigs, more or less correct now. Momentum finally actually works. That's all fine. Like, but we got rid of the thing that actually made them interesting to play, which was they were the high mobile, high hit army. They play in one phase, right? Effectively. It's like charge and combat. Right? That's their thing. Okay. And that's not enough. You've got to actually like have movement as well. It's okay if you don't get magic. It's okay if you don't get shooting. It's okay if you don't have other tricks and all that stuff. But then you've got to be good in getting to where you want to be and punching people really hard. And I took away the getting to where you want to be. That puts them in tilt. We can fix that, right? It's as easy as literally stopping Mighty Destroyers from being knockoff bad Murderlust, or good Murderlust now, or whatever you want to say. I don't know. From being knockoff Murderlust to just being move your units around again. And or giving them more speed. It's really all there is to it.
I don't think they should be on 4s.
Yeah, it's very slow.
Move.
When in the last GHB, when I could regularly put my army on 6s, it was a whole different army to play.
Yeah. Bastion for the whole army.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. Let's do a non-controversial one. That's a great point. Across the Pond says, I keep saying soft reset Iron Jaws lore and let them actually be competent. That alone would give so much more room to write interesting rules. Boy, what a great idea. Across the Pond. I love it.
Reminds me of a cool essay someone wrote one time about the problem with destruction being that they're dumb.
Yep.
Just dumb.
Here's an easy one. Hedonites of Slaanesh. Obviously, we're just going to move this right down and nailed it, right? Of course. Perfect.
Yeah, right next to SOB and Greenspite.
Yeah, I mean, right up here into back to zero. Nice try. And by nice try, I mean terrible try. You failed. You should feel bad. Your entire family should feel bad for knowing you. This is awful. This is awful work.
I would recommend, or I would say that, stop trying to make Browbeat work.
Stop. Yes, thank you.
It is not an
Can I just have allegiance rules? Okay. Yeah. Maybe.
This isn't like it's not strong enough or the things aren't balanced right. I'm telling you, like, fundamentally speaking, the concept of Browbeat is not interesting. There's just a right answer to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard to balance. And it's never fun.
Yep.
Browbeat, it's a bad mechanic. And it's even worse in a war game like this.
The closest we ever got to a Browbeat mechanic being any good was in the Prisoner's Dilemma card or whatever, right? Which is like a page of text, and relies on there being 4 players in the game to make it functional, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just bad. That's it. Okay. Doc, Daughters of Cain. I mean, they're definitely on tilt. There's a bunch of units in here that are just worthless. There's a like rules wise, they're just in such a silly spot where they're overperforming, but it's fragile overperformance.
Yeah. Yep. That's easy.
Also, it's hilarious to have a table that gives you bonuses where based on round, and they're like round 4 and round 5. You know, those commonly played round 4 and round 5. You know how often you play those rounds.
Well, look, they made that table so that when you're talking the rest of the game through after round 3, you can point at the table to help you. Well, I would do this. So
in this round where I have 1 unit left on the board, it would totally be awesome.
Yeah,
that 1 unit would be amazing. Yeah.
Massive.
Fire Slayers.
I actually really dig the rune blazing system. I think that's cool. I think
20 blaze it, absolutely.
It's got legs, that system. I think fundamentally speaking here, they should not be the slow dwarves. They're insane juicers using god gold they pound into their skin. They don't even wear pants, which could slow them down in their sprinting, right? They should be the fast dwarves. Not 4-inch. They shouldn't be slow. Like Fireslayer's Blazing Fury, right? They should be fast melee dwarves. KO are the maneuverable ranged dwarves. And then the city dwarves are the classic dwarves. And they're that are slow. And then those are the 3. So if that means back to 0, I don't know exactly 0. I like rune blazing. Everything else, not really digging it.
I agree.
Conceptually or otherwise.
The problem here is our concept is just off, right? So like, there's a couple of rules we want to extract.
And goofy stuff.
I
like Magma Droth, Damage Reflection kinda as a way to show magma blood, but I'm kind of picking little concepts out. Back to 0.
Gelloman says, yeah, that's funny because in Total Warhammer, Slayers are labeled as fast for a dwarf. There you go.
There you go.
And are faster than other dwarves. Yeah, sure. Because, I mean, they're running around naked like lunatics trying to get into the fight. Yeah, it totally makes sense. Okay. Skaven.
Think about a frenzied berserker in your head. Are they slow?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Thematically? No.
Honestly, Skaven, I'm gonna argue pretty hard in nailed it. Like there's a couple things I would change, but for the most part, it's pretty correct.
And it's all of their monster heroes. Doggo detected.
Yes, my dog is here. There you go. There's my dog. Everybody hit like if you haven't already for my dog. She's been here the whole time. She's been being very quiet. She was sleeping over beside us. She just woke up. She heard Skaven and she got excited, so she woke up.
Skaven is maybe the only good book in the entire edition.
They're the
closest. They're the closest to the sun, I think. Them and Soulblight.
Yep. I think they and Soulblight are the 2 that nailed it the most closely to theme. They just got it correct.
There's some things they need to clean up, like every one of their monster heroes. But aside from that, they even got the lol random equals fun thing.
Yep.
Correct. That famously gets wrong, and the rest of the destruction. The key is you always get your thing. You just might blow up after, but you get the thing.
But you get the thing.
Makes it okay.
And they logically set the incentive to where you want to use it, right?
Yeah. And you do the math, and it's worth using. That's another really important part.
That's right. It's just like it's so easy. Okay, Sylvaneth.
Oh man. Speaking of armies that have always been miserable to play against, no matter what edition you're in. And voted, I think they won maybe. And you did a vote or 2 years ago.
Sure, like years ago, of like what's the worst army to play against. They might have taken the title at that time. Yeah.
They're doing a lot right, though. Enough right for me not to want to put them into back to zero, but I still might.
I agree. I think they're in tilt.
I think it's okay. I was gonna say the topmost back to zero or the bottommost tilt.
Yeah.
Because fundamentally, the whole terrain thing, everything about it, all the war scrolls of all the wildwoods, every ability that has to do with wildwoods, I would redo. I'd redo the war scroll of them, redo the battle traits about them. Are we doing a strike and fade or not? Are we doing a teleport or not? Are we doing an acorn create them or not? Top of back to zero.
I got to put them in tilt. I think they fit in the same
Okay.
category as Iron Jaws. That's my argument.
Okay.
Right. I'm with David Canty here. Like, because I think I would go on the opposite side and say like Kurnoth feel completely right. Like the Tree Lords, the move through the woods, all of that stuff feels right.
Yeah.
Again,
yes, they do.
You know, like there's so many elements here. Alariel, the way she works, like yes, rules wise, we can talk about like yeah, she gets placed it against the wall or whatever. But like conceptually, there's just a lot going correct. Like the way the bugs work and stuff like that. They're fast. Belthanos, like all these things feel very good and correct when you play them, right? It's just, you know, yeah. It's just there are some issues.
WizBiz has convinced me here, along with you. He says Sylvaneth Tilt, War Scrolls good, freeze and battle traits, crap.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking about it, and I kept thinking of all the things wrong with Sylv, and I didn't consider all of that is non-War Scroll, pretty much.
Right.
Like the War Scrolls are fine. It's just, and I mean literally every single army rule,
right.
battle trait,
toss
every terrain, everything. Yeah.
Yep.
So
agreed.
But we're taking out, you know, you're taking out the juicy center, I guess, and keeping that. So yeah,
that's right.
So, I agree.
Lastly, Ogre Maw tribes. I mean, I'm a very strong proponent that these are back to zero. We've got to get an actual identity for this army other than just like
we used to be really fun. You can't do that anymore. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Right. If I could snap my fingers and go back to real Stone Skeleton and Frostwreath Ice and stuff, but lose every game on points, I'd do it again.
Sure.
That's fun. You can't do that anymore. It's not allowed. Fun detected, fun not allowed anymore. Yeah. And so, you know, what are we? The Impact Hits army, Monstrous Actions army, of which we have 7 and 1's good.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, back to zero. The Shooter army, where the cannons do 1 and the pistols do D3. That's the army that we're in. They accidentally gave us one fun model. It's called an Iron Blaster. That's real fun right now. That's it. Gutbusters do a ton of damage, and they are fun, but almost Fire Slayer-y in one note. Like it's just a fat guy times 44.
Sure,
that's actually sweet, dude. Doing 60 damage before saves is fun.
Sure, it's pretty amazing.
Gutbusters on over Discord, and sometimes it's like playing a Warlock in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. You just Eldritch Blast every turn.
Sure.
Right. And so
the difference between playing it's like a bit playing a ranger and playing a warlock is the exact same experience if you pick up a bow, right? It's like it's the same thing. You're just scratching off the serial numbers, basically. Like, sure. Yeah, it's fine. Yep.
Some people just like to Eldritch Blast every turn, and they're still 100% doing it. I like rolling attacks on Ren 2 damage 3. That's great, you know. But yeah, back to zero, I agree. And they have the perfect opportunity to do it if the rumors are correct, that they're refreshing the whole thing. I really, really hope it's the whole thing and not just like 5 Gutbuster stuff and that's it.
We can all hope.
Man can dream. Absolute opium. I don't know what you were going to do to wrap this up, but I thought it would be an interesting thing to look and think about which armies are very different between both tiers and which ones are the same.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to have us spend too long, but like, think about the poor souls who got in the worst tier on both Fire Slayers.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Or what about the ones that are doing nailed it on the rules, Flesh Eaters Courts, right? And then complete redesign everything, failing
Right.
completely on there. So
On the
like, I'm
models. Yeah,
looking for
yeah.
the big differences and do we have a double nail it?
So, okay. In our like no touch zone, we sure do.
Mhm.
Because in our no touch zone, as well as our nailed it zone, you've got both Soul Blight and you've got Skaven. Okay. Just
Truly the winners if you're talking about winners and losers of an edition, the winners of 4th edition
that's
right
right.
there.
Just absolute cream of the crop. They're like, here's
They
where you're
actually
at.
can't stop winning. They wish they could lose just to feel something, but they can't.
That's right.
They're addicted to winning.
Now in our absolute garbo tier, in your hot Chinatown garbage tier, you have Fire Slayers who rank in both. You have Sons of Behemoth who are in both, and you have Ogres who are in both, and you have Zinch who are in both.
Oh, that list kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the list just kept going, didn't it?
Ouch. Okay.
Hey, this should push back against a little bit of the destruction player's self-flagellation, right?
Sure.
There's only 2 destruction armies in the 0 both out of 4. Or if you count everything inside of Gloomspite's book, 11.
And your really big deltas, it is true that like Flesh Eaters are one of your giant deltas. Okay. And that's really it. They're the big delta. Everybody else is largely floating around like one step off in the middle. Like cities ranks in the middle on both of them, that kind of thing. Right. So it's Magikins in the middle on both of them. It's that kind of stuff. Right. So, but yeah, those are your big winners and your big losers. So there you go.
And have no fear, because ogres are getting a refresh and a battle tome, so surely those will put them in double no touch on each, and the ground up reset back to 0 tier will get that much smaller. Surely.
And what exactly? We'll just move them straight down. It is funny that in the rules section you've got 12 sitting in back to 0 and 12 sitting anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, what's the complaint with 4th?
Yep. That is the thing. Boy, if that doesn't tell the story. There you go. All right, everybody. Well, hey, I hope you enjoyed this. Hey, whoa. Thanks much, brother. I really appreciate it.
Always like to be on.
It's always great having you on. For all of you out there, thank you to everybody who chatted, who super chatted. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, do those fun things on your way out. Click things that make dings. It will make you at least 10% cooler. Fine print, coolness increase not guaranteed. Don't forget to check out all the stuff below if you want to support the show. There's links down there to pick up your hobby supplies, affiliate stuff. You can pick up a new light, new hobby stuff. All it's down there. You can, of course, check out everything else in the Vinci Cinematic Universe, new episodes of Snarlcast and Fireball the Gazebo, my RPG podcast with John, and my indie wargaming podcast with Uncle Adam. We're going to have some really fun ones. And as I said, tune in next Tuesday for the new Fireball the Gazebo. If you're curious about Rifts, if you want to hear about the wildest game that is wildest RPG in the history of RPGs, boy, this is it. Get ready. I plan to have lots of show and tell. We're gonna have art references. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna blow John's head right off the top of his shoulders. But of course, then there's a Patreon merch store, all that stuff.
For sure.
Oh man, I can't wait to just explain. I'm gonna start, just like explaining. This is how many world books there are and dimension books and all that stuff. So I gotta go collect all my stats. Yeah. So Fireball is just it's up. We don't do it live, David. But it comes up Tuesday mornings at the new episode posts every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Link is down below. Sub up. Be cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. It's always appreciate everybody watching, engaging. Thank you so much. Heywo, thank you so much for being awesome, for being here, for having a great discussion. For all of you out there, as always, we will see you next Wednesday. And do not forget to start rolling dice.